Hello and welcome everybody to our second day of the Pin It Canada live virtual event. Welcome. I'm Audrey DeYoung and I'm so happy to be here with you again today to share with you all of our amazing presenters that we have. Our lineup today is incredible again. We have Ecstacy Craft, we have Stamp Art, DecoArt with Tracy Moreau, Deb Antonick with Stampendous, Rinea, Diane and Jessica with Rinea, Anna Rioch, Emerald Creek, Kim Evans with Emerald Creek, Joe Rotella will end our day with Create and Craft, and we just have some amazing presentations that you do not want to miss. Anyway, here we are coming straight to you at your home to help spread some creativity with you. We have a jam-packed schedule, so make sure you sit back, grab a coffee, tea, and enjoy the afternoon. For many of it, if you're not available to watch the whole show, we will have it up on YouTube next week, so you can go back and watch some of the segments that you've missed, or if there's some projects you want to try, you can go back and try it with the presenter as well. Also, make sure you ask comments or make comments and ask questions during the show, because we've got some amazing door prizes for you, and the only way you can win them is by commenting, asking questions, and we will get to your questions, hopefully try to answer all of them during the show to the presenter. Each segment, like I said, will award a door prize, and many of the segments also have discounts or specials, so kind of watch out for that, and we will be posting those as well throughout the day. Let's see. Oh yes, make sure you subscribe. When you go to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. Our YouTube channel is Pin It Canada, and that way when it does go live on YouTube, you will get notification. Just want to thank all the presenters yesterday for being part of the show, and also congrats to all our door prize winners. We have notified them, and we're just waiting to hear back from them, and once we do, we will let everybody know who the prize winners are and what the prizes were. So let's get started. Today our first guest is Kayley Boche from Ecstacy Craft, which is in Shannonville, Ontario. Kayley enjoys all types of crafting, from card making, stamping, scrapbooking, DIY, and more. Kayley's enthusiasm and talents for crafting has allowed her to lead our design team, develop samples, inspire customers on Facebook Live, and create YouTube videos. When Kayley is not creating, she is working on her family farm, nurturing and growing vegetables to sell at the local farmers market. Are we there, Matt? There we go. Yay! Now we see you. Hi, Dennis. Good morning. Good afternoon.
He saved the day.
He saved the day. Perfect. I just want to mention, too, we're just so happy to have you with us today and to have Ecstacy Craft with us again. And yeah, wonderful. Ecstacy Craft, as you said yesterday as well, offers a wide variety of products to help you realize your creative vision. That you sell over 15,000 craft supplies with hundreds of fantastic new products hitting the shelves each and every month. Thank you, Kayley.
Yeah, okay. So I guess I'll jump into it.
Sounds perfect. Awesome.
All right. So at Ecstacy Crafts, we specialize in European and UK craft supplies for die cutting, stamping, stenciling, mixed media. We're super excited to be here to show you our wide selection of over 15,000 different products that you can check out on ecstasycrafts.com. And once you're there, we also have a special category for all of you guys, the Pin It viewers. So if you just search Pin It on our website or go to the banner that says Pin It, you'll see the big maple leaf there that you can check out everything that I'm going to be talking about today, as well as the special deals we have for you. So let's hop over and I will show you the beautiful little winter cards that we want to make. We did up a little kit for you guys. So it includes everything you need to make 10 cards, including the card stock, the envelopes, some nice red envelopes, the navy card stock, And the little toppers, these little 3D topper snowmen that are really the feature of the card. So I'll show you, you get a little packet like this, and it comes with 10 unique different snowmen. So if you open up the package, you can see all the little snowmen are individually packed. And these guys come with 3 layers in there. So you open up the little individual packet, and it gives you, we have included the little foam pads that you stick onto the back there, and you can layer them together to create your little 3D snowman. I'll pull that one off. You can see the dimension there that just adds. So let's pop this little one together, and we can make a card just like you could make 10 unique cards with this little snowman topper kit. Now I'm going to pull off the backs of my foam toppers there, super easy, and then I just line up that image, and you can see, if the camera's picking it up, a little bit of a glitter highlight there on the snowman. It really adds a special touch. Now we'll take our top layer, the smallest layer, and just line it up exactly on there. And you can even actually take your top layer and add, say you wanted to add a little friend over there, or add it as another element on the inside of the card. There's lots of different options, but I'm just going to stick with the full 3D effect. There you can see our 3 layers there. Now we'll set that aside. The kit also includes our glitter kiss. So this is a little 50 ml beautiful little glass pot. The kit includes the color Frosty Sparkle Kiss. But our glitter kiss line also includes 25 different colors of this micro fine glitter that's suspended in a water-based medium. There's a couple colors. And there's so many different ways that you can apply this, guys. You can see here we've covered the background there, but you can also use it on the white background to create a little snowy blizzard effect. Here I've just kind of flicked it on using a coarse brush to create a little light effect around that little lantern. Very cute. And here's some of the other colors samples. So you can see, you can just swipe it on lightly for a little kiss of glitter, or you really can get full coverage from this glitter kiss. It's just beautiful. So let's whip up a background for one of these little cards. Clear these out of the way. Oh, and here you can see our coupon code PINIT. Use code PINIT at checkout for free shipping, guys, on any of these orders. So let me grab my magnetic stencil board here. So you can see the magnetic board with the magnets really holds that stencil on, as well as these little tabs so you can pull them out and switch out all of the stencils that come with the kit. And we've got that on special for our PINIT viewers, 10% off on the website if you're interested in that. So I'm just going to throw my scrap piece of paper down there so I don't get the glitter all over the place. And throw my little sheet of cardstock that, again, comes in your little snowman topper kit. Pin that down with my magnets. And then now, this is my favorite part of the glitter kiss, is the applicator comes built right into the lid there. So you can see it's easy to pop in and out, easy to store. So you're just going to want to wet your applicator. And I've already done it with this one. So it's a little damp, and I wring it out entirely. And then we'll open our pot up and look at that shimmer in there. So we can dunk our topper in there, and this is how I like to apply it to my stencils. You can really just do a dab to get a light finish, a more subtle snowflake, or whatever stencil you happen to be using, or you can really pack it in to get a more opaque glitter by kind of smearing it in there, and it can go on quite thick if you so choose. So cover our whole stencil there, working it into the little crevices of those little snowflakes. Get in there. And then to wash our applicator, it's a super easy cleanup. You just use a little bit of soap and water, dry it out, and pop your applicator back in the top of your container for storage. So I'll pull my magnets off, and I love these. It just holds the stencil in place. That thing's not going anywhere. And there you can see our little glitter snowflakes. So perfect. So I've already got one. It doesn't take that long to dry, actually. I found about 20 minutes, and then I'm able to work with it again. But I've got one already dry here for us. So again, the glitter kiss included in your little snowman topper kit. So you get everything that you need to make all these little unique cards. So we just built this little topper. I've thrown some double-sided tape on the back, but you can use any craft glue or whatever adhesive you so choose. I just pop him or her, I guess, whatever, both of them on there. And then here's the sentiment that this kit comes with. Winter Wishes. It's one of our Borderline collection dies. So you can see the die comes with the cutout for the Winter Wishes, which is going to be just the sentiment itself, but it also comes with the die to cut out the background, so you can have the background of your sentiment cut out perfectly. You can use it in a bunch of different ways. You can create it so it's just the borderline there. I suppose that's where it gets its name. We've also done a little variation on it there. You can see it cuts out just for the edge there, perfectly fits around the word. But for this card, I'm just going to pop this guy on here, pull off my double-sided tape that I've applied. There you have it. Perfect little Winter Wishes card. So cute. So for that kit,
we have a couple questions for you, Kayley.
Pardon me?
We just have a couple questions for you.
Sure, let's
hear them. One is, can the glitter be applied to painted surfaces?
It absolutely can. It can be applied to any surface.
Perfect. Also, they're wondering, do you have to spray the glitter like with an adhesive or hairspray or something so it would adhere over time?
So it would adhere over time. Nope.
Well, I'm thinking like you're thinking to seal it kind of thing.
To seal it? No, not at all. That dries right on. The glitter doesn't come off once it's dried. It's a nice, a really wonderful finish there.
Perfect. Also, Cindy's asking, could you speed the drying with a heat gun?
I don't see why not. Yeah, it's water-based. If you wanted to speed that up, you definitely could.
Perfect. Last one, if the sponge topper gets damaged, can you order a replacement sponge?
It's super, I haven't had any issues with it getting damaged, but I mean, you could definitely use any other sponge applicator to apply this glitter paste. It doesn't have to be the applicator that comes with it.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, continue.
Okay. Yeah, the applicator is super easy to wash out with a little bit of soap and water. Doesn't take much. So let's hop on to another collection that we have for our Pin It viewers, is our Country Winter Clear Stamp Set. So I'm going to show off some of these. The kit comes with these 4 winter scene stamps. So here you can see we've used the stamp as the background in this bridge card, just really adding some depth to this winter scene. It also comes with this little cottage that you can fancy it up there with a little bit of glitter for the snow and a nice little frame. Now this one's on our website again at ecstacycrafts.com. Under the Pin It banner if you want to check those out. So here's a nice lake scene, which this is the one I demoed yesterday, and you can see Mary Lynn from our creative team did this, and she used the different layers, different colors of inks to really add some depth to that scene and take your stamping to the next level. Here's a nice winter scene with some two figures and a sample card. You can see she's done the same thing. The background is a little bit lighter and we focus on those figures. So I'm going to do a quick run through on how we can replicate this card using one of the stamps from this Country Winter Clear Stamp set. So I've got my Press Buddy Pro here, or my Stamping Buddy Pro, sorry about that. All set to go. I love this stamping set because you can re-stamp without having to realign your stamp. So we have our magnetic board. It holds our paper in place. Now to create this layered stamp effect, I'm going to start off by applying a gray ink to the entire stamp to get my background building going. Apply it on there, and I've already got it lined up, so it's easy to just flip that over, apply some light pressure, and you can see we've started with our background. Oh, I think I might need to do a little bit more on that tree. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That really brought that to life. Okay, so now to highlight our figures, I'm going to take my black ink and apply it just to the figures in the stamp to really highlight them. And that's easy enough to do. You could definitely use a sponge applicator for more accuracy, but I'm just doing it quick here for you guys today. So flip it over, and again, it stays right in place, aligned with our stamp, and it's darkened up those figures. Now we can add even a little bit more highlight to maybe match the color of your frame. I'm going to use a nice crimson red here, just to add a little bit of color to these figures' dresses. I'm going to swipe it on there, and just highlight them a bit. And you can even go in and smear off with a baby wipe or whatever the extra ink if you get it maybe where you might not exactly want it. And does that show up enough? It was a little subtle, but we'll swipe on a little bit more red. And there you have it, a nice little layered stamp. You can take it the extra mile. You could start applying your Versamark to apply a little heat embossed glitter for some glitzy snow if you really wanted to add to that background. There we have it. So again, we have a special deal with our Stamping Buddy Pro for you guys on Pin It. Under our Pin It banner on our website at ecstasycrafts.com, we've got these guys for 10% off, and don't forget to use that coupon code PINIT for free shipping. Now, are we good to move on, Audrey?
Yes. Yep. Go ahead.
All right.
You still got about 10 minutes, so you're good.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to show off a couple more bundles we've got here for you guys. This is our wintertime die collection, another collection that we've got on sale for our Pin It viewers. So it comes with a set of 3 winter scene dies, and I'll just show them off for you guys. So we've got a little winter cottage there, and you can see we can bring it to life. These collections come with a pack of our foam pads, just like we used with our snowman toppers, to really add some dimension. It's kind of like you're creating your own 3D topper. So you can cut out your die multiple times to achieve this look. So you can pop your little snowy roof out there and add some dimension. And I love, Mary Lynn designed this card as well. And I love how she used the gray die for some of the background, the gray cardstock for the background of the die, to really create kind of a shadowed effect to make the white pop. We can see here's a little die for maybe some of our hunters out there or nature lovers. Again, using the foam pads to really bump up that 3D effect. And then we've got this die, and I just love the card that Mary Lynn's put together for this one. So I would look at this and think, okay, I'm going to throw that on a 5x7 or a horizontal, build a horizontal scene. But by chopping up the elements of this die, you can see you can use it in a very versatile way. Again, she's got the little insert there just to add an extra touch to your card and really bring the full thing together. But the elements are chopped up into the foreground and background there instead of remaining in the horizontal view. So that's our wintertime die collection, 10% off at ecstasycrafts.com for our Pin It viewers. And then I'm going to show you one more die collection. We have lots more up there for you guys, so definitely check them out on the website. But here we've got a little Christmas window scene. Again, we can use the foam pads to make that pop, and use maybe some of the other dyes to create the scene in behind that window and really create a layered effect. We've got another little winter cottage scene with a steeple there, a little village, just adorable. And Marilyn's used our ergonomic blending brush to create some of these sky backgrounds. I'm not sure if anyone's been noticing this, but it just creates a gorgeous background using some Versaclear inks and our ergonomic blending brush. Also 10% off on our website for you guys if that was a technique you wanted to dive into. And then we've got the last die in this collection is our nativity scene die. And super easy to layer those up. Here's the card sample, and just really make that scene pop. Again, she's used the blending brush to create the really gorgeous background there. So to create the layered die, we start with our card base, and then she's cut out the die. So this is what the die would cut out using black cardstock. And then to kind of simplify it into taking whatever elements of that die we want, we can just trim away whatever we want to get rid of. And then we would pop that on there with some double-sided tape. And then we can do the same and just trim away kind of the background pieces and apply with our 3D foam toppers. So pull the backing off of those that come with these die collections for you guys to kind of create your own 3D die scenes. So we pop our next layer on there. We can cut out our star there using a little bit of gold cardstock. Make that guy pop there. Just beautiful. And of course, you can offset it a little bit if you wanted kind of the shadow in the background. So you still have the black in behind, kind of even emphasizing the 3D layer even more. And then we, have trimmed away even more of our scene. So we want just our stable in the most foreground of our scene. So again, with our little foam pads, pull the backing off of those guys, and we can throw that onto our foreground. And again, that's the classic winter die collection. It gives you the dies and the foam pads that you need to create this 3D layered die card. So, Audrey, any questions on any of those?
Yeah, a couple of them I know Dennis I can see has answered, but I'll just mention someone's asking about U.S. shipping, and he says, yes, definitely, that they will ship to the States.
Yes,
with the free
absolutely.
shipping.
We want everybody to be able to try these out.
Perfect, perfect. Also, they were asking, where is Ecstacy Crafts? And I think he already answered that too, that you're in Shannonville, Ontario. Now, where is Shannonville, Ontario?
Oh, yeah. So we are smack dab in the middle of Toronto and Ottawa in Ontario, right along the 401. So if you want to take a trip down and check us out, we're at Shannonville Road, right in Shannonville, Ontario. Just north of the neat. 401.
Good, good. Now, Bev was asking, she says she's new to this form of crafting. How do the dies work?
Right. So they are a metal die at ridges where it's going to cut out the design, not sharp enough to cut you at all. But we use our die cutting machine, the Press Boss Pro, or we have the Press Boy Pro for kind of a little smaller set. Here, I'll show you the rig if I can fit it under my camera. There Perfect. We go, by Nellie's Choice. We've got the Press Boy Pro. So we've got the hand crank. It comes with plates that you put the plates through with your cardstock, and then this folds open and you put the plates right through there and crank your wheel. using, and you can adjust the tension with a little knob on the top, which is a huge advantage to maybe some other die cutting machines on the market where you are placing all kinds of shims in there and everything. We just have the one plate, and you can adjust your tension to put your dies through to make sure that it's cutting through that paper. We've also got a new electric die cutting machine, so you don't have to worry about that hand crank. So definitely check those out on our website at ecstasycrafts.com. You can check it out under the die cutting header on the top of our website.
Oh, that's perfect.
That answers that question.
No, I think that was about it. That's awesome. Can you bring your face back on the screen there? You flip you over?
Yeah, I'm just working on that. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, there we go. I'm back.
That was awesome. You are just incredible. You did like, what, 3 projects there in 20 minutes. That was awesome.
We flew through it. We wanted to give you guys some good content.
Perfect, perfect. Well, thank you so much. And we've posted, and I think everybody knows that when they go there, just to put the pin-it for the free shipping. And I know you have some amazing products there, and the discount for the different people. Oh,
beautiful.
Sorry, one more
thank
question.
You so much for having us at Ecstasy Crafts, Audrey. We had a lot of fun.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great
Bye.
day. Yep, bye-bye. Oh, that was awesome. She is just full of energy. It's so nice to see the younger generation involved, and just so happy that Kayley could join us again today and show us some more projects and some neat new ideas for some people who haven't done the paper crafting. So our next presenter is Nancy Kleiber, and she is from London, Ontario, and the owner of StampArt. Nancy caught the stamping bug in 1988 and has been teaching and sharing the love of craft ever since. She's the owner of StampArt, which is on Hamilton Road in London, Ontario, for those who are in the London, Ontario area, for the past 20 plus years. She still loves the constant expansion of the hobby into metal dies and mixed media. She says the magic is never ending as new products and techniques are continually available to share. Nancy will be demonstrating today an easier way to build a card with shaker bits and dimensional tape. Also, don't forget that you have to comment and ask questions. They also have a door prize. It's a roll of white foam tape and also some snowflake acetate. So make sure you ask questions and comment. So enjoy Nancy's segment called Snowy Shaker.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for some fun, creative videos. My project today is a shaker card. Get ready for Christmas. I wanted to show you an easier way how to make a shaker pouch without having to deal with all tiny bits of foam tape and static and all your shaker contents flying all over the place. I think you'll agree that this pocket idea is going to make it easier for you to do some shaker work. Know that there are some other products already on the market. If you're looking for complete products, Sizzix has quite a few different shapes and sizes, and there are many others out there as well. The little dome shape of Sizzix was very cool to enclose just tiny little words for Christmas. The only downside for me to the dome shape was that it was very expensive to mail because it's quite high. It sits quite high in a mailing envelope. All right. So let's look at making our own shaker pouch. What I have is a piece of clear acetate. It is 4 by 5 1/4, so it is going to fit. It's going to fit the size of our card, just by a tiny 1/4 inch border. I have foam tape on all 4 sides. Our foam tape runs 1/2 inch wide, an 1/8 inch deep by 150-foot roll. What you'll see is I have cut the top and the bottom to narrower strips just so I won't have my tape showing through my die cut image. So that's something to keep in mind when you're making a shaker pouch. It's got to be big enough to sit underneath whatever your die cut is on top. So we're going to go ahead Oh, I must tell you about this other piece of acetate, which again is very staticky. This is a lovely snowflake acetate. It already has snowflakes printed on it, and it's very cool. I have cut that to 4 by 5 1/4 as well. And I've put a little green tab on here to remind me which side is up. There is 2 sides to this acetate, and you will feel the printed side is raised. Back to our taped image. I am going to take off the protector off one side and the top. This way, when I go to place my snowflake acetate on, I'm only dealing with those 2 sides of tape, and I'm not trying to keep all 4 sides straight at the same time, because everything is a little bit challenging when you've got all that foam tape grabbing it. So I'm going to pull that green strip off, which is just telling me that's the top of my snowflake acetate. And now I've got this lovely pocket. Very easy to open, a nice open pocket. You see what I'm trying to tell you? So when I'm working with my shaker contents, there's so many things you could use. In this particular card, I've used sparklets. It's a combination of faceted gems and sequins and colored sequins and tiny die cuts. You can also use seed beads. You can use anything in your shaker card that you've got laying around. There's lots of stuff out there. I'm going to, the amount that I'm using is roughly around a teaspoon. The temptation is to try and fill this. That's not the intention. What you want to do is have a little bit of shaker special things that will float to the bottom of the card or shake around in the card, but not cover your entire image. So on a fine piece of paper, I'm just going to slide this right into the very bottom and let all those lovely pieces slide. The paper makes it a little bit better. The acetate is very staticky, so the paper makes it a little bit easier to shake things in there. And now I think you can see I've got my shaker bits all sitting at the bottom there. I'm going to go ahead and take off the other 2 protectors, knowing that my 2 pieces of acetate are already lined up very nicely. And we'll seal that up, and now none of my shaker contents are going to escape every time I move or do anything with that card. And I think you'll find that that's a nice and easy way to work with creating your own shakers. Now we're going to go ahead and build the card. Actually, we're going to stamp the image first. I'm working with a lovely stamp from Woodware. It is a nice collage Christmas with deer, sheet music, and a tree, and a moon, and a snowflake. When I'm working with a silhouette image like this, especially something this solid, I do want great pressure on the stamp. So I am working with a foam pad underneath, and that's going to allow for a pressure from underneath as well as on top. I'm inking with black VersaFine. I really want to ink this up well because, again, solid image needs a lot of ink. Most important thing when you're lining something up, especially something like this with sheet music, you want to make sure your sheet music is nice and straight, because if it's crooked, the whole card's going to look crooked. All right. I am using as much pressure as I can muster. Sometimes I would stand up, but I'm using as much pressure as I can sitting down to get a nice transfer of this black ink. People have a tendency to ink a stamp up and slap it down and pick it up. You really want to give your stamp time for that ink to transfer to the paper. All right, let's see what we have. Not so bad. So there's my image, nice and black. There are a few white dots in that deer, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and clear emboss it. I'm using clear embossing powder from Wow. And know that any pigment ink, because it has a tackier constitution and it will sit on top of your paper, Any pigment ink will allow you to put on a clear embossing powder and then heat set it, and the color will become embossed. So that's a nice thing to know. If I have a dark blue that I want to emboss, just put your clear powder on top, and as you heat it, it will come through. I won't make you watch me heat emboss the whole thing. I just wanted you to see the difference as that clear powder melts, how vibrant your black becomes. Okay, so we're going to go on to one that's finished. And again, on the deer's head, I've got a few white dots there that are bothering me. So I'm going to go in with my micron pen, and I'm going to be able to fill in those little white dots so they won't be quite as noticeable. You may not even see it on the video, but I'm seeing them here. And once I've got those black dots covered, I'll have a nice solid coverage. So it's a little bit easier than stamping it 16 times or coming down and adding more ink. Anyway, that's where we're at. We are now going to take a finished one, and I can work with this one. My next step is to add some dark evening sky. I have Distress Oxide Chipped Sapphire, and I have a distress tool. I'm going to move my printed image onto my glass mat. These glass mats from Ranger are fabulous. It gives me a workstation. It gives me a place to clean. I can work with alcohol inks. I can work with so many things. And it also actually keeps some of the space open when you're trying to work. Always, always, always with a distress tool, load up really well. And I'm coming in from the outside, which is where I want my darkest. I'm trying to stay away from the moon because I want it a little bit lighter there. But that's the color we're working with. And again, I'm going to come in from the outside edges first because I want to save a little bit lighter space for that moon, which I didn't put Post-it note on. Okay, so this is how you're going to protect the moon. You've got a die cut circle out of a Post-it note, and that's going to sit right on top of your moon, which should have gone down first, but no damage done at this point. All right, I might as well finish this up. I wanted you to see that as my pad gets less and less ink on it, it'll create a whiter spot for that moon to shine through. And of course, we're going to go right over top of that Post-it note. And of course, again, I'm a little bit dark at the top here, but we'll work with it. So there is my very white moon and my background. At this point, I am just going to take the ink that's left on my foam and carefully and lightly just drag through that moon. I just want that little hint of blue coming across the moon because it wouldn't be that stark white. So I don't know if you can see that tiny streak across the moon. It's such a pretty stamp, and I think even at that point, it's something that you could just put on a card and be done with. All right, I'm going to grab one that is also done and show you same thing we just talked about. I've left some white, I've left some lighter area around the deer just to let that moon glow come through. At this point, we're getting ready to put all the pieces together. Nope, one more thing. I have die cut an oval out of another piece of white 100-pound cardstock. This is a Stamp Art cardstock that we sell. I absolutely love it. It's got a beautiful finish. It's 100-pound. It's good for embossing. It's good for a little bit of watercolor, and it works very well with anything you want to do with it. Embossing, watercolor, coloring. It will even take some alcohol pens. I love it. On this particular front, we have gone ahead and embossed a snowflake embossing folder from Sizzix. It's called Snowfall. I really like how it just starts at the top and then peters out at the bottom. So it is more realistic looking than just a bunch of dots. I've got tape already on the back of this layer. So I'm just going to peel my tape protectors. And I'm going to add this to the front of my acetate pouch. So there we are again. And because everything is lined up at that 4 by 5 1/4, it should line up fairly well. You're going to be watching that the tape isn't showing through the open space. So there is the connection between the acetate pouch and the front. Now, my deer has tape both on the front and on the back, and there is a reason for that. I'm going to remove the front tape. I know, it's like watching paint dry, but it's not quite as painful. When you're putting these two pieces together, please make sure where your snowfall is at the top, not at the bottom. And again, I've exposed all that tape. I could have been more careful and not exposed it all at once, but I did. There we are. And then I do have tape on the back of that deer panel as well, because now I'm going to tape it to my card base. Again, you'll want to make sure that the card is facing upwards, because I can't tell you how many times we've all done it. We've all stuck the card on the wrong side. Okay, and now I am going to add a die cut. This is a Christmas Wishes from Sue Wilson. We love Sue Wilson die cuts. We love Sue Wilson dies. Great price point, beautiful combination of fonts, and she's got great words out there for dies. I have used my silver mirrored cardstock to cut it out of, and right now it's sitting sandwiched on a piece of sticky specs. That's how sticky specs looks. What you have is a large sheet of a plastic backing and a paper with tiny, tiny micro adhesive dots. It's marvelous for adding printed images and tinier defined images. Because there are so many dots on here, I've cut a small piece out and I've put my Christmas wishes there. I am going to, now it's going to stick. As I'm pulling away from the brown piece of backing, the tiny, tiny sticky dots are sticking all over this Christmas Wishes. And because the piece I cut, now it's going to stick to my finger, because the piece I cut was smaller, the piece of sticky speck I cut was smaller than my die cut, I am just going to press my die cut in at the end to make sure I've got that one covered too. You don't need a piece as big as your die cut because there's so many tiny specks on there that you can pick up a lot. If it'll get off my finger. And I did pick up a pair of tweezers, but it's going to stick to my finger, so this is going to be just a little bit of a challenge. But honestly, they're great adhesive. Yay! And my my CH is all stuck to something else. But we'll see if I can get this on. There are lots of different ways to adhere this. I really like how this holds. My other option would be those fine glue bottles. We love them. You can get out a tiny, tiny bit of glue. But this sticky adhesive is great, and it'll hold it beautifully. There is our card. I'm going to confess, I think my white layer wasn't trimmed the size it should be, because there should be a navy border around there that I showed you on the original card, which I can't see right now. But there should be a navy border around that. We did turn around and use the die cut. There, this card shows better. We did use the die cut that we cut out from the oval, and don't hesitate to use that on the inside as your verse panel. It's not wasted, and it makes the shape repeat, and it's a great way to use it up. To finish this off, I did use some tiny snowflake die cuts from Marianne. Marianne does a lot of wonderful strip dies. Marianne Craftables. And what I love about them is this snowflake panel is going to look like it's going to come out in one piece, but it doesn't. It all comes out in separate snowflakes. So when I run that through my machine once, I've got all these separate snowflakes to add on to things. Absolutely love it. There's a picture of all the snowflakes that are in that small die set. And there is a picture of the reverse if you wanted to use the reverse of the die cut for any reason. Some of the other products we talked about today were my 100-pound cardstock. We sell a pack of 25, 8.5, 11 for $7.95, or we do the 25 12/12s at $14.95. I absolutely love it. I have it in cream and in white, and it is marvelous cardstock to work with. Also have a stamping mat that I was working with. We cut ours in pieces because these are so big, but the stamping mat will give you a nice firm background to stamp onto, and I love this. It is a good stamper tool to have. The mat that I'm working on is the full-size glass mat. This is the travel version of the glass mat that is made by Tonic for Tim Holtz. And it is just a lovely platform to work with. And like I said, you can almost keep it clean enough to keep track of where your bits and pieces are for the card you're making. I'll finish up by saying thanks so much for watching. We are on Hamilton Road in London, Ontario, and I hope you will come and see us. Bye for now. Hello, and thanks for joining us for some...
Oh, that was amazing, Nancy. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed that. That was a beautiful card, great tips. A few people have mentioned as well that they're great for the novice crafter, and that you're such a great teacher. And we here loved your sense of humor. Yeah, we talk quite often about paint drying, and you know, you're always waiting for paint to dry. And also that you had commented that you had the adhesive stuck to your sleeve. That was great. We love that. So, and thank you for being on and replying to people during the video as well. So that was awesome. Thank you very much. Make sure if you're in the London area, go check them out, Stamp Art on Hamilton Road, or go simply to their website, which is stampart.ca. Thank you again, Nancy. Our next presenter is Tracy Moreau from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Tracy is a Dynasty brand specialist and a DecoArt brand ambassador. She's been painting for over 40 years and teaching for more than 20. And she offers free live classes via Facebook and on her YouTube channel as well. She also teaches Zoom classes and seminars. You can find her work in industry magazines and various publications online and on her website, www.tracymoreau.net. Hello, Tracy.
Hey, Audrey. You're
Thanks
having a
for
great
joining
show.
us.
You are having a great show. I've been
Oh,
watching it, everybody, as they go.
oh,
It's in my pocketbook, though, I got to tell you. This
well, if
time
you're
I
going to shop, this is the time to shop when they've got some free shipping and they got some specials going on. Yeah,
oh,
just
yeah, I
it's
spent my time yesterday waiting. Before I came on yesterday afternoon, I was on the Ecstacy craft website buying up all the glitter.
there will be no glitter left after today. So, what are you showing us today? I think you were saying it was going to be a pillow, perhaps?
We're doing a cushion cover for Christmas. And we're
Ah,
going to do a fun little technique, stenciling technique for the holidays. It's
perfect.
really, really simple. We're going to do a brilliant red base coat, and then I'm going to show you how to put a metallic highlight on it using a
Oh,
stencil brush.
that sounds wonderful. Wonderful.
Awesome.
So, do you have to
Uh,
switch over or? Oh, you muted yourself.
Oops.
Oops. We want to hear you. I'll tell them just a quick about DecoArt. DecoArt is whether you're a crafter, DIYer, fine artist, decorative painter, or mixed media artist, DecoArt has a product family that will work for you. Select from their leading craft paints, Americana, their line of DIY paints and finishes, Americana Decor, or their high-quality mixed media program products called DecoArt Media. So now we are ready. Are you ready there, Tracy?
I am, now that I got the right camera.
Perfect.
So I'm working on, this is just 100% cotton duck. This is a cushion cover. It's got a really nice one too. It's got a zipper in it. You can find these on Amazon. They're actually very easy to locate. We're going to stencil using, this is a Dynasty Stencil Pro. You can use any stencil brush you want, but this one is fantastic. So I'm going to dip into a little bit of Santa Red, which is a great color. And I have taped my stencil firmly into place. And I'm going to work in a circular fashion and change directions frequently. Now, by changing directions, it simply helps you redistribute the paint much more evenly so that it doesn't collect and bleed under the surface. So I'm just working really quickly. The stencil that I'm working with is actually from R12 Stencils. And that's Patricia Rawlinson's stencil company. She makes beautiful home decor stencils. I'm kind of obsessed with this one in particular for the holidays. So as you can see, I've taken just a little of that Santa Red, which is a standard Americana color, and I've mixed it 50-50 with DecoArt's fabric medium, which is this one right here. It's a fantastic medium. It's inexpensive and it works with any of the Americana paints. And this red is so bold on this cotton duck. That country Christmas look is really, really popular this year. Again, in lots of buffalo check. And I'm really enjoying all of the fonts and the sayings written on decor items, especially at the holidays. So just about there. I'm gonna get that C done. Now, it doesn't take very long for this to dry, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, but that doesn't mean that you can't continue to work. There we go. Now, I've got the word Mary up here. I'm going to use a little bit of sour apple. I really like that green. And I'm going to mix that with a little bit of the fabric medium. And I'm going to do the word Mary in that vibrant green. So this will stand out very nicely. I love stuff like this for the holidays. It's just a lot of fun.
go. So I see a spot where I need to touch up a little bit right here just to make it a little darker. And I'm going to mix my fabric medium with a little bit of DecoArt's 24 karat gold in the extreme sheen.
I'm just going to mention to them as well, Tracy, about the amazing door prize for today for your segment.
Yes. They get quite a bag of goodies.
Yeah, 6-color set of DecoArt media fluid acrylics, a 4-brush set of Dynasty brushes, a Uniball black gel pen, some stencils, and an artist pouch for it all to go into. That's amazing.
Yes. Yep, it's a nice little prize pack, and just to make it a little bit better, they're also going to get this cushion cover.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I'm going to pick up.
They just have to make sure they comment and ask questions, and they'll be
Absolutely.
Put into the draw.
So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that gold with the fabric medium, and I'm going to come across the top of the lettering. Just across the top, like so, in a circular fashion. And I'm just sort of skipping across. I'm not really focusing too heavily. I only want to hit the top of the letters with that little gold. Now, it looks like a dog's breakfast when you're doing this. It just looks very messy, but in the end, you're going to get a really pretty highlight at the top of these letters, and it's going to be this really nice bright gold. And it'll end up looking very rich, very festive. So now, the grand reveal, so that you get to see how this looks. I'm going to pull off my painter's tape. Now, I've used painter's tape to secure the stencil. I'm not a big fan of spray adhesives. I find them very hard to get off of the stencils. So I prefer to use just a painter's tape. And I secure it well so that it stays in place. A little too well, apparently. There we go. So I've got all of the tape off, just like that. And now I'm going to remove the stencil. So I always hold the stencil down and pull it back toward you. And it gives you that nice bright highlight across the top of the letter. Really festive. Now you could take your Identi-Pen and outline this, or you could take a small paintbrush and fill in all of these little areas here where the bridges were, and it will end up looking like a hand-painted piece. Easy peasy. Perfect cushion to throw on the couch for the holidays. I've managed to get paint all over my hands. And that's it. That's as difficult as this is. It's very fast, very simple. Let it dry 10-15 minutes. And then you can toss it into the dryer to set the paint, and you're good to go. You can wash it and dry it with the rest of the laundry.
Just a couple of questions here as well. What somebody was asking what fabric medium. I know you showed it, but maybe you can just show it again. What do you use?
This is my favorite fabric medium. This is the DecoArt Americana fabric medium. You can find it at Michael's. You can find it at most craft stores. You can even find it in the Canadian dollar stores.
Wonderful. Now, do you do like, how much do you put into the paint? What's the ratio?
I use a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I'm going to mix my paint, so I have a 1 part paint and 1 part fabric medium.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Also, somebody's asked, where do you get the pillow covers from?
The one I have here, I actually got on Amazon.
Oh,
and they're
okay.
relatively expensive. They're about $11 a piece. They're a very nice quality cotton duck, 100% cotton duck, with a nice zipper closure on it. And that one measures 18 by 18.
Oh, perfect. So what do you do? Do you wash it ahead of time, or what do you do to prep
To prep them, I throw them in the washer with no fabric softener, just with laundry soap, and toss them into the dryer or let them dry by air, and then press them with a high steam or a hot iron.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Also, somebody had said that, do you have any techniques or tips you can give for stenciling on fabric, that they do not like to stencil on fabric because it moves or it's not a solid surface? So what type of tips can you give?
Best tip I can give you is to tape your surface down and also to tape your stencil down as well. So if you're working on a nice big table, make sure that your stenciled fabric is firmly taped to the surface. I also, especially with things like cushion covers, I will open it up and slide a piece of cardboard inside and then tape the whole thing to the tabletop. So that when you place your stencil, you also tape the stencil, go past the edge of the cushion cover onto the tabletop. Keeps everything nice and stable.
Perfect,
Takes a little bit to prep it, but well worth it in the end.
Also, how do you clean your stencils?
I believe it or not, in the era of COVID, hand sanitizer is one of the best things to clean stencils with.
Well, there you go.
Especially some of the liquid ones, if you can put it into a little spritzer, spray the stencil, let it sit for a few seconds, wipe it off with a damp cloth.
Perfect.
It'll take the paint right off.
Now, we have about 5 more minutes. Can you maybe just kind of do a review of yesterday's demo? Is that possible?
I can review it, but I don't actually have another surface, but we can talk about it.
Perfect.
We did a similar technique actually yesterday. We just did it with multiple colors. So we shaded top and bottom, and then we had multiple color surfaces. Give me 1 second and I will clean.
Sounds perfect. Okay.
We did the shopping bag yesterday.
Also, they're asking what was, oh yeah, go ahead.
So we used multiple colors for this one, but the same technique that we used today, just using the fabric medium. So it makes for a fun shopping tote.
Perfect, perfect. And what were the gold and green colors you used today?
I used country red, which was that bold in your face red. I used sour apple, which was for the word Mary up in the upper left hand or upper right hand corner. And the metallic was DecoArt's Extreme Sheen 24 karat gold.
Extreme Sheen. Perfect, perfect. And how do you store your stencils? Lots of questions here, Tracy. It's amazing.
How do I store my stencils? I have a couple of different ways. For stencils that are quite small, 8.5 by 11 and 6 by 6, page protectors. I slip each stencil into its own page protector and I store them in a binder. For larger stencils, I use alligator clips and clip no more than about 4 or 5 together at a time, and I hang them on a coat hanger.
Oh, that's a very good, because I know I have the regular size and I do the same thing. I put them in the little sleeve protectors and I have them in a binder, but then now you get these square ones.
Yes.
It's like,
those
where do you put them?
Just the, those big paper clips, the giant paper clips. I just clip 4 or 5 together, and then I can hang those clips right onto a coat hanger and hang them up.
Perfect, perfect. Oh, Kathy's asking, where do you get the shopping totes?
The shopping totes actually are available at Michael's. If you're in Canada, you can find them at Michael's. They're available on Amazon. And if you're living in the United States or watching from the United States, they're available at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann's.
Perfect, perfect. Is there anything else that new coming on? We're waiting for Deb to come on, so we got about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So maybe you can let them know about maybe some other new products from DecoArt or something that's coming out. I'm sure you can share some information with them.
Well, coming up for the holidays, of course, everybody is working on Christmas ornaments and Christmas decorations. So keep your eyes peeled. Some of this product is already in the Michael's stores. So you'll be able to get your hands on it. Of course, we have the Galaxy glitters that we launched last year. And now we have the new, pardon me, holographic illusions, which is like a super sparkly glitter. It's amazing. So those will be available soon. And the new enchanted and enchanted shimmer, which is those new iridescent paints. But we also have a new glitter varnish. Did you know that? We have a brand
No.
new called Galaxy Varnish that is absolutely spectacular. So you can put that gorgeous all over holographic type fine glitter all over things and finish them at the same time. It's
Now,
a fantastic product.
do you have some there that you
I
could just
do.
show them?
I do. I have it in my stash.
Maybe just put her on.
I love this stuff. It's a fantastic product. This is Duraclear's Galaxy Varnish. And it has a really spectacular glitter added to it. It's ultra fine. So it isn't going to block out areas, but it has that great sparkle. Even better than Starlight Varnish.
So what's an example that you would use that on?
This is fantastic on over snowmen, or put it onto your Christmas ornaments that you've already painted, for overstroking onto snowflakes. This stuff is amazing. Super sparkly, but it doesn't distort your painted piece.
Very nice, very nice.
Gorgeous.
Mary is asking as well, does DecoArt still have a cork sealer?
Yes, they do. It is still available.
Oh,
Should be able to find it on the DecoArt website.
perfect, perfect. Well, this was great, Tracy. Thank you so much. We really
thank you for
enjoyed
having
having you on the show today and getting to see all the new DecoArt products out there and some great ideas for Christmas projects, for sure.
We have, just keep your eyes peeled. There's more great stuff coming up.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Audrey.
Take care. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There's always something to learn with Tracy around. She's always got some great tips, and I love that stenciling project on the pillows. That is a really great Christmas gift idea for sure. Our next guest is Deb Antonick with Stampendous. Deb lives in beautiful Penticton, BC, which is amazing out there. She is a published designer and has published several books, magazine articles, and patterns since 2003. She has taught painting classes at Michael's in Calgary, Alberta, before she moved into publishing. She loves to teach and share ideas with students. She is an active and contributing member of the DecoArt Helping Artist team, an FM Brush Dynasty Brush Ambassador, AFCI designer member, and ambassador for Stampendous. Her designs are what she likes to call whimsy, whimsical take, primsy. A whimsical take on old primitive with a twist. Welcome, Deb. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Good morning, Audrey.
Good afternoon.
Can you go? Yeah, I guess so. Well, it's morning for me.
I know. It's so nice that we can do this, right? Coast to coast. That is kind of
I
neat.
had to get up early and comb my hair. It was awful.
Now you're representing Stampendous today, and Stampendous has over 35 years.
I'm wearing the colors.
Awesome. They have 35 years of quality product and service. Whether you need rubber stamps or other paper crafting accessories, Stampendous is here to provide you the highest quality products and fastest customer service possible. Now they have a special today, 10% off any order over $50. And they also, to use the promo code PINITCA at the checkout.
PINITCA. Yeah.
Good.
And we know about the shipping US. Anybody in the US can just go to stampendous.com and place their order there, and be sure to enter the coupon code. But to all our fellow Canadians, you can go directly to my website, which is paintingwithdeb.com or .ca. Both of them are working finally. And fill out the special order form that I have, and I will actually be sending them. They will be shipping me the entire order, and I will be doing the little mailing. It's because United States Postal Service has added some extra fees right now, so we are just going to deal with this, and so we can get some product out. And
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And you have a door prize for us today?
$76 worth of product.
Oh, wow. That's
Amazing stamps,
awesome.
amazing stamps. At one lucky winner, so be sure to comment, say hi, tell us where you're from or whatever, and
Yep.
doesn't matter if you're in Canada or US.
And ask
We're
questions.
not going to judge.
Well, we've
But
had people from
everybody
all over
gets
the
to win.
world, so it's been a real
They do,
global
yeah.
event. Nice to see people just
Absolutely amazing,
connecting.
amazing company, amazing
Yeah.
30 odd years in business, wonderful people. They're really good to me and I just love them. So
Oh,
we're gonna,
perfect.
I'm gonna show you today how I paint stamps. We're gonna create a cute little shaker, which is this little fella right here with my
Oh,
lighting.
adorable.
Isn't
Very
he
nice.
adorable? But I'm also going to show you sort of how I paint, how I set up to paint the products. I can paint on wood, I can paint on chipboard, do anything. So if we're ready, I'll flip my camera and we'll start to play.
Perfect. Sounds
Oh, and
wonderful.
I
Go for it.
also want to mention that these little chipboard shakers that we have, these wonderful little guys, every order until we run out of product, we'll get a free shaker in them, both
Oh,
Canada and the US.
wonderful.
Yeah, and until supplies run out.
Yeah, awesome.
We have a stash.
And your
So,
your little, I can hear your little woof woof. He
Miss
wants to
Lily,
come in and play.
Miss Lily, she's in all my videos. Okay, so I'm going to flip over and I'm
All
going to
right,
ramble
go for
on
it, Deb.
Okay, hang on. Ha, can you see me now?
Yes, that's perfect. Awesome.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I love to paint because, of course I'm a painter but I love stamps and I always wanted to try to figure out how I could incorporate stamps into my pieces. I kind of tripped in front of the Stampendous booth one day and then they fell in love with me and here we are. And I actually did. I did a face plant right in front of their booth. And that's how I met them. So, but I love to paint. So what I started doing is creating like little ornaments and different things. So we've got this little shaker, which I'm going to put up here. And here's a bunch of little ornaments. These are just little wooden ornaments that I've gotten prepared, ready to paint. They're just fun. And I got my little stamp set. This is these new little wool felt mice. They're so simply adorable. So that's what I'm working on. I haven't created them yet. This is a finished piece that I did. This is a little booklet, sort of a little pet booklet. You can put your little puppy pictures or something inside. And what I do is I start creating layers with the stamps. And I paint them with the DecoArt fluid acrylics and these simple little brushes. I have 3 little brushes that I use. Very easy brushes. This is just a little angle shader. This is the Eye of the Tiger brand. I just love them just because they take the fluid acrylics, they switch mediums really easily, they wash up well. So, but any angle shader works. This is an IPC point blender, ink, pen and chalk blender, which I love I use it like a crayon when it's loaded, and I'll show you that. And this is just a little soft flat top mop, which I use, but you can use any mop. So we're going to use those today. And I'm going to show you my layering process. And this was made with these 2 stamps here. So I'll put that aside. And how I create my pieces is I use this is my little stamp buddy. And all of you watched the Ecstacy crafts this morning. You can get a hold of one of those with their special. These are absolutely amazing. And this is how I create these. Okay, I lost my surface. There it is. Okay, so what I'll do is I prep my chipboard or I prep my wood pieces always with a piece with gesso. I love the DecoArt gesso. I'm currently run out of DecoArt gesso, but I got a box from DecoArt yesterday, so that's very exciting. And this I find is the best way, but you can stamp, your normal way if you don't have one of these, but these are awesome because we're going to open our little stamp set. What I like about the stamps is they're colored. These particular ones, Fran's watercolor series, but they're just, you can use them for anything, but she's got a beautiful watercolor series that if you get a chance to watch on YouTube, it's absolutely amazing. But it gives you some color ideas. So if you kind of draw a blank when it comes to figuring out colors, these are great. So what I'll do is I will take my little stamp and we are going to do this little guy today. And I'll pop them in here. And I'll take the top part just to sort of line it up so I know that I'm going to be within my little area. So I'll do that. I got static on here. I don't know why. And then my little stamp thing will pick it up. And then I ink it but I'll use either Stays On ink or the Ranger Archival. My Stays On has wandered away. These are permanent. They're not waterproof or anything. So when you can actually paint over these without having any problems. If you use other inks, VersaFines and stuff, they're beautiful inks, but they don't always work with the product. And so I like to seal all my painted pieces with matte medium, which I'll show you in a minute. So this will stay put where I put it. And we got our little stamp. If he wasn't perfect, then I could just move, I could restamp over. So anybody did watch the Ecstacy Crafts, it works that way. I would re-ink and I could restamp and it's perfect. So that's how I create my stamped pieces. And actually those Stamp Buddy things work great with wood ornaments and everything, up to 1/4 inch. Anything over that, you're pretty much limited. Then what I'll do is I will take this and I will seal it with DecoArt matte medium. It's a clear matte medium, it'll seal everything. And what it does is allows the fluid acrylics to flow really nicely. If you make mistakes with your colors, you get it where you don't want to, you can wipe it off with a baby wipe. So I would normally seal that, but in the magic of video, I have them already sealed and ready to go. So I'm going to show you some quick painting techniques. I do have a video on my YouTube channel, which you can get to off my website, that shows you this entire painting technique. And it also shows you how I build the shakers as well. So when I paint, DecoArt fluid acrylics, you can use regular DecoArt acrylics as well, but I stick with the higher pigmented colors, like the brighter colors, the ones that you would normally need 2 or 3 coats to base coat with, because they're more transparent. Anything with a white base tends to cover all the lines. So I'll use colors like orange flame and electric pink and dragon fruit and stuff like that, because they're quite vibrant in their colors. So how I load this brush, we're going to use it like a crayon, is I'll wet it and then I just roll it very gently so it stays to a point on my paper towel. Hoping you can see that. You see that, Audrey, okay? Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load it up, and I want to treat it like it's a marker. So anybody that color stamps with markers and crayons and colored pencils and stuff would do this very easily.
And
so
we can see you fine, Deb. It's perfect.
Okay, good. There's static, so I don't know if you can hear me okay.
Yeah,
so then
no, you sound great. Perfect.
Okay, I sound great. So then I'll color. And because of the matte medium, when I'm coloring, if I get color where I don't want it, it'll just wipe simply off with a baby wipe. And I'll just keep coloring him. Just plop in some color. It doesn't need to be perfect because this is a first layer. This is a layered process. I will create probably 3 or 4, sometimes 5 layers, maybe even more, and just keep on going till I've got the color buildup that I really like. So it's very, very light. And then I'll get another color. Let's see, we'll do a little red hat on them. This one's Pyrrole Red. And I do have a set layer, set group of colors that I use, and I will post that on my website with a little bit of a write-up on how I do these and some set colors that I use. So same thing, I'm gonna load up my red and rouge it into my brush. If I'm worried, you don't want to see any paint. You don't want to see any blobs of paint on here. You can also use like a little round brush or something. You'll get the same technique. So any little round that you have, I just happen to have this one. This is a watercolor brush, which I like. But you can use those as well. And then we're going to color his little hat. And if you notice the point allows me to get right in here. I can use it right on its tip, get my little red in there. And I think we should have a red and green scarf. So I'm just like patting in the color. I'm not going to go to any great lengths to get beautifully covered. And I think he's going to have a green and white candy cane just because I can do that. Or blue and white, maybe blue and white candy cane. Why not? See the color, you don't have to do anything normal. You can do whatever your little heart desires. Just pat in your color. And I think we're going to add some red and green stripes on the presents. Let's see, with this one, little, some bad pop over here. Okay, so pop in my red. Okay, so that's sort of some basic, and then I'm going to add some green. And what I'm doing, I'll show you right now, is we're creating this. This is the beginning. This is the first layer of paint. So this is where I've gone and I've added the first layer of color to everything. So that's what that would look like. Very soft coloring. But when it's finished, like this guy, as the layers and the shading, it's going to become a lot brighter. So let's add some green. And I'm only using a tiny drop. I don't need a lot of paint, just a tiny little drop. That's actually way more than I need, but we'll use it. And again, just load the little tip. And I'm going to color my presents red and green because it's Christmas time. And then present. Oh, it's hoping you can see okay. There. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm add a little bit of shading. At this point, if you're uncomfortable adding other colors and stuff and you're just not sure, you can actually put another coat of matte medium on it. Matte medium is a barrier, it's a sealer, it's a varnish, it's everything. And you can do several layers of it and it doesn't create a buildup. So I'm going to do a little bit of shading. I'm going to start the background and then we're going to go in and do some more shading and let this dry a little bit. So I like to move around a little, some of my shading so that I'm not going to go over things because while they're still wet because of the matte medium, they could come off a bit. So I'm going to start adding some color and I'm going to use my angle shader and see I'm actually almost coloring with it and I'm using it flat so that that color from the water from the brush will actually pull that paint out. And that's the matte medium on the surface that's allowing me to do that. I've actually had the pleasure with Stampendous. They've actually taken me. I've taught some scrapbook groups like at the AFCI and the Collins events in the US, which was really, really quite an honor. Teaching non-painters. So that's the start of a background. It's just very soft, but I did get some paint where I didn't want it on my candy cane, and I'm just going to wipe that off with the tip of the brush because it has a little bit of water. We'll start the background. So now I'm going to start some shading. And I always start with a light value and then work my way up to a darker value. So I'm going to go into, this is transparent red oxide. Nope, I want burnt sienna. So a raw sienna for the little creature there. And then a burnt sienna, I'll start my shading. And you can see how it's actually going to start to get more vibrant. And like I said, if you want to seal it first with that matte medium at this time, it's a great time to do it. So I'll start my shading. And I use my little brush to pounce it out and it softens very nicely. And I love my little angle brush for this, but you know, people have different ways of shading. Use whatever brush makes you happy. And then under his little paw. And of course, over his hat, I'm going to go around his eyes. And I'm just working off the tip with this. This is, like I said, this is what the matte medium is allowing me to do. It's allowing me a little bit more flexibility with my floating than I normally would have with painting. And his little ears. You can see he's getting a little bit brighter already. We'll pop them in here because we've got to have little cheeks coming out. You have to talk to it while you're going as well. I hear whispering. So something that I do, I love when I'm working with fluid acrylics, I love how you layer different colors that wouldn't always work together. So what's really weird is with the little guy, I'm going to actually put yellow over it. It wouldn't make sense normally to do this, but what it'll do, and I'll show you, is it'll just pop these two colors on my little bear guy here. I'm just going to load my brush like I normally would. It's very watery because I don't have a lot of paint. And these are very transparent, so not much is going to go wrong. And I'm just going to, if you look, I'm going to go over it and see it's going to get brighter already. Do you see that, Audrey? It's getting brighter. Did you see that on my?
That looks great. Awesome, awesome. Anne was asking. Anne was asking how high these shakers are when they are put together. I'm sure you're going to show us them put together.
There is
right?
actually, let me show you here. I'll show you all the layers. And this one's ready. This is the one. Oh, and just so you know, what I did with the outside is I embossed it. I just dipped it in embossing ink, Versamark, or I actually used I use the Stampendous little pouncer thing here because I'm lazy and I don't like getting, I like to control it a bit. And I used, for the base, I used just sterling silver. And for the blue, which I liked, it's just it's a nice blue. And it just gives me this sort of really nice look on these shakers to create this finished look. So that's with the first layer, but we have 2 other layers. So if you can see the thickness of these, we glue these 2 together, and these are what creates your barrier. So we've got, what, about 1/8 of an inch there. So that will go on top of here. And this is in my video as well. I do have a YouTube video making shakers. It's a little cute little bunny bum. He's very cute. Or he's a duck, I can't remember. And then it comes with this piece of acrylic, which, special piece. So you glue these together. And I use a Leans tacky glue, which I like. But if you get your hands on the proper scrapbooking glue, paper glue, because chipboard will absorb glue. And then you'll take this little plastic layer off. And I use a little stick here to do it, my little tweezers. Never thought I'd see the day I had scrapbooking tools, but I do. Don't know what to do with them, but I do. So you would take this layer off, and then you would adhere it onto here. So do that, but you would put your little bits in here. And I have a variety of bits. I have sort of some cute little seeds, little beads. And I have, because you got to have things that sparkle. So I have these little sparkly things. And I know they're in my drawer. You get a hold of these little kits that have some fun little sparkle bits in them. Add a few of those. You don't want to fill it too full, but you definitely want to add some stuff to create that sort of element of fun in there. Here's some that I've made previously, like here. This is my little snowman guy. And this is actually from the Christmas mini kit. So there's that one and these. There's a little snowman. He's got some beads in there, and I created them there like that. There's another one with a little scenery. There's some little beads.
Now, Yolanda is asking, are any of these available as kits that they can purchase?
Can order. So the kits right now is you're just going to get one with an order. So whether you order just one stamp or you order the $50 worth to get your discount, you're still going to get one shaker. If you want to buy a whole bunch of these shakers, clearscraps.ca or clearscraps.com out of the US, absolutely fabulous company. They make the great little chipboard. They've got hundreds of these. We've got the trailer. We've got, of course, the TV that this guy was. We've got, of course, the jar shaker, which is my favorite. And we've got the little Christmas. Yeah, I've been working on these, eh? And oh my gosh, they have Halloween ghosts and witches and gnomes. And so we did an event with Stampendous at Vegas last year, and that's why we have so many left over. We were making takes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, go ahead. You can finish your demo.
Okay, I was just gonna say too, like, I get my stamp sets like this sometimes when these are brand new when they're first released, and sometimes they just come in the mail like this, no packaging. So this is a piece that I'm actually going to be teaching. So this one is coming up, artful webinars for Stampendous, some up in the spring, March or something, but just watch my website for it. So it just shows how I layer. It'll be showing you how we layer and create different things. Oh yeah, this guy, everything I'm working on, this is a little tea light holder that people might have in their stash. And I just started stamping this little set on there. And I'm not quite finished, but he's coming. My finished ones have gone away. Just showing you how, all the different things you can do. So back to my little demo. How much time do I have, Audrey?
5 more minutes.
Okay, let's show you a little bit more shading, how we're getting this guy built up here. I want to show you how the layers, just a couple of layers of color makes all the difference. So go back and redo the shading. But adding that yellow on here just made the difference of making it pop a bit. And see, I've gone over, I've messed up my eyes, but watch this. This is my favorite part about the matte medium. See, it comes right off. By doing the matte medium, you can wipe it right off. I'll show you the red, how that works with the colors that I use. I'll add orange over red. So that will, like I added yellow over the browns, I'll add yellow over blues, greens. It's just sort of a mixture of playing with colors. So I'll highlight all my reds with orange. Bounce that out a bit. It looks funny now, but I'll show you when I do my shading how it just makes it pop. And I went out of the lines over here a bit. I can get rid of that very simply. Just like use it as an eraser now, and it takes it away. And then I'm going to deepen my shading with magenta to show you the orange and the reds will just create a nice bright red for you. I'll stamp on anything, paper, chipboard, little wood ornaments are great. Like you can do, and Audrey can attest to this because I got her started in that one day, how many ornaments you can do so quickly with doing a stamp and painting.
Yeah, you kind of helped me out with that. I paint about 50 or 60 ornaments every year.
And they're still hand painted, which is what I really like. They're still hand painted. You've gone to a lot of trouble to do your painting. So I'm just doing a little bit of shading to make these colors pop. Shade with the left side of his little scarf here. The bottom of his little scarf. His hat we're going to do down here. So it's just basic painting, base coat, shade, and highlight, but you're just doing in washes. And then I can pop the top of his little hat with some of that orange again. And see how it's already getting brighter? Starts off quite washy, but it gets quite bright when you're done. And you can have a lot of fun. Like you can do, I'm going to show you, this is how I would do this little hat thing. Because you can do anything your little heart desires. Take my little brush. So if I want to, I can add glitter. So I'll take a little bit of matte medium. And for his hat, I can just tap the matte medium on here. And you want to make sure that this is dry. That. And I have this flock. I love this stuff. This is flocking from Stampendous. And I'm going to put a little bit of flocking on that matte medium that I put in his hat. It's going to give him a cute little fuzzy hat. I'm just going to pop it on there. And it all goes back in. See? And then I give him a little bit of a fuzzy hat in there. There's all sorts of stuff you can just keep doing, keep playing, layers and layers on anything. So that, yeah,
Karen was asking, where do you buy the tea light holder from?
That I had in my stash, but I think bear with us in the US.
Oh,
but
perfect.
isn't this a great idea? I was just going through different things, and I'm just going to finish up the coffee cups for these guys and give them a little bit more eyeballs. But I just saw this and I thought, how cute was that? Because this is one set, but these sets are so stinking cute. It's this set right here. You can build these little kitties and, oh, no flock everywhere. Build these little kitties with their coffee cups and signs and stuff. I mean, sky's the limit, right? And these sets are usually, I think, $9.99 or something US. So if you get, 5 different sets of stamps, you're going to save 10%, right? Great deal. But yeah, you could probably, and Michael's might even have them. Maybe I got it at Michael. Or Windsor Plywood. I don't know. There's all sorts of places you could probably look for them. Yeah. So definitely if you order, if ordering on my website, I will be shipping them. So of course, with the shipping issues, which we're having worldwide right now with the pandemic, you would you have to allow like 3 to 5 weeks. That's going to be a given. So I'll be placing whatever orders come through my website. It's a messaging system because I couldn't do a big order thing because I have too many SKUs. So you can order, just list all the items that you want and then send the order form to me. And then I will then process it and send you an invoice. So I know how much the shipping will be for within Canada. Then I'm going to put one big order into Stampendous and they will then send me the box and I will ship from there. My last order from Stampendous came quite quickly. So, and in US, you just order the way you normally would, and they will ship away. Use
Perfect,
the
perfect.
code PIN@CA when you order. You don't have to on the Canada order form; it's already in there for you. But on the US orders, you would.
Now, Cindy is asking, is there a website when you show how to do some of these projects? I know we will have these projects on the Pin It Canada YouTube channel. But do you have a place as well that some of these projects are?
Yeah, I have my YouTube channel. I can send it to you if you want. You can link to. I've got 2 that are specific to painting these. One's where I actually sort of speed paint and build the entire shaker. It's so cute. It's bunny. And the other one. Do you want me to flip it over now? Are we chatting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We love to chat.
I have a mouse somewhere. Hang on. All right.
Yeah, somebody says they think they saw them at Hobby Lobby as well. So for those that are in the U.S. So perfect. Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, there's so much to do. Like there's so much to do that we can do here. But there is like definitely my channel is me. Just search for me, Google me. It's on my website. There's a little YouTube link way down at the bottom of my brand new website that I've been building. That'll take you to my videos. And one is where I'm actually showing you step by step the painting process. The other is speed painting to build an entire shaker. And I will have other videos coming like this one here that we're doing, this guy here.
That is, it's so beautiful and colorful. I just love that, Deb.
Yeah. And it
amazing.
Says, you're on my mind today.
And that's one of those cell phone holders, correct?
Yes, and I actually get a lot of use out of it because it props things up for me. And I've done other ones. Here's one.
Yeah.
I've done before. You'll find a lot of my projects, if anybody is subscribed to Pixelated Palette or the Painting E-Zine, I have a project in there every month. But they're ads for Stampendous, so there's no instructions, but shows you all the different things you can do and the stamp sets that I use.
Now, Karen is asking, where is the order form, or how do they order on your website?
If you go to my website, paintingwithdeb.com or paintingwithdeb.ca, they take you to 2 different pages, but they go to the same place at the end. Just click on the Pin It Canada event.
Perfect.
Everything is on there. The link to shop, the link to the Stampendous website. If anybody has any problems, they can just message me off of Facebook or email me at adeb@shaw.ca. All that information is on my website. Find me on Facebook. I will do everything in my power to help you.
Perfect. And I just wanted to clarify for her, we had a good little chuckle here. When the presenters are presenting, I'm muted, but you can hear me. So I think also Deb, so a few people kind of mentioned, they're like, because you said, are you whispering? I was like, I was whispering over here. Everybody couldn't hear me, but you could hear me.
I could. As long as it was just me, because I thought it was just funny because I could hear you whispering away. But yes, I would love to help anybody get their hands on some of the stamps that they just love. And I am working on a way, because I've got a few that I use all the time, a few that I just love, that I'm going to actually start carrying. So I'm just in the process of working out the finer details and learning how to ship stuff. I've been avoiding it like the plague.
And Karen's asking, the phone stands, do they fold down for mailing, and where can you find them?
These you can get in Canada at stockade.ca. In the US, I get these. See, it comes like that. Just mail away.
Oh, perfect.
You can get them at clearscraps.com.
And stockade.ca in Canada. Perfect. And Bev's asking, where did you say the cutouts came from?
Clear Scraps.
Clear.
Which cutout? My shaker cutouts?
I think so. She just said where the cutouts come from. So yeah, those ones.
Yeah. These are the shaker sets. So they come in a box. I'll get you a new one. Hang on. I'll show you what it looks like when they actually do come. Like this. So clearscraps.com.
Okay. Very cute.
Screen print, clearscraps.com.
Clearscraps.com. Perfect.
Okay,
We will put that on there.
Their shipping to Canada is actually amazing. They're very wonderful people. But we do have a whole bunch. So everybody that does order does get a free one. We don't know which one you're going to get. It'll be either the trailer or the puppy or the TV one.
Ah, love it, love it, love it.
I love the rest of it.
Thank you so much, Deb. That was amazing. And everybody, don't forget the 10% off if you order $50 or more, US at stampendous.ca, and in Canada, paintingwithdeb.ca. Perfect.
Yeah, and you have until the end of the day, Monday, to get your orders in for the discount, because I have to get the order in Tuesday morning.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Deb, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. What a wealth of information. I love all those stamps and those shakers. They would really make cute ornaments and cute gifts for Christmas. So thank you, Deb, and thank you, Stampendous. Our next guest is from Rinea, Diane Agarwal. She is an army brat and grew up in Germany with a German mother who introduced her to the amazing paper and art of making beautiful ornaments with it. This is a tradition that most Germans learn. She has been making holiday stars for friends and family ever since she can remember. She also has a daughter and son who are now grown, and the Rinea name is named after them. It's made out of Rhea and Neil. She is learning so much about ways to use the Rinea foil paper for crafting, scrapbooking, and home decor, and she hopes to be able to reach out to as many people as possible and spark their creativity. Welcome, Diane. So amazing to have you with us.
Thank you, Audrey. I'm so happy to be here today. This is a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Good, good. And now tell us a little bit about yourself. You are the owner of Rinea?
I am. And I started it basically because I wanted to bring this foiled paper to the States. I'd been using it. My mom taught me how to make the stars like you were talking about, you know. And here's actually one of the stars, and we will be making one of these later on. But I did it. I started the business because I wanted this to come here. So let me show you really quick what is so special about this. It is paper that has real aluminum foil on both sides. So when I tear it, you can hear it and you can see the paper. And I have a piece actually here that's like a little defect. The foil is super, super thin, and there's the paper right there. So it's pretty neat stuff. It will hold its shape. It will do anything you want it to do. I always say to treat this just like you would cardstock. So I think that, well, I know we have a video that we'd like to share with you. It is a video about a product called Ghost Ink. And the Ghost Ink is something very special. We found out several years ago how to take the color off the foil, which makes it very, it's a whole new technique. And Jessica Kaiser is one of our design team members. She made the video, and she's actually from Canada. She lives up there and with all of you. And she made this wonderful video. So I think we should go straight to that.
Okay, so I will introduce that. I also wanted to make sure that people were aware that if they sign up for your newsletter on your website, which is rinea.com, they will receive 30% off their entire order till Saturday at midnight. So that's tonight. Right. And just a little bit about Jessica. Now, where from Canada is she from? Do you know?
I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly. I remember her address is in SK.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Ah. Perfect. And Jessica is a mom, wife, crafter, Zumba chick, wine lover, and foodie. She is a wife, mother, paper crafter, and business entrepreneur. And she is a craft enthusiast. She loves creating cards, scrapbook paper, home decor, 3D paper items, canvases, and more, and just loves being crafty. She loves to find new craft companies. She says she's a bit of a hoarder, and she loves using up things that she's had. She's learning how to use the manipulate digital images as well as new color mediums such as watercolor, paint, alcohol marker, and pencil crayon. In her spare time, she loves to decorate her home with a mid-century modern flair, cook, bake, create recipes, sew, and teach Zumba classes. Wow, she sounds like she's very, very busy.
Yes, yes.
And that's why we have a video for her, which will roll right now. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, it's Jess for Rinea Foil Paper, and I'm so excited to be here today to share with you a few fun techniques using our Ghost Ink 2.0. I did a video back last year when we launched this, and I'm so excited to revisit those techniques and share them with you again today. So we're gonna head on over to my craft table, grab your Misfit paper packs, Rinea foiled paper packs that is, along with your Ghost Ink refill and your Ghost Ink pad, and let's get crafting. Hey everybody, let's get going with our Rinea Ghost Ink 2.0. We're going to use both the refill and our stamp pads today. So I just wanted to show you a few examples before we get going of what I've done with the Ghost Ink, and then as we go through the examples, I'll show you how to create that same effect. So for this one, you can see I used the Ghost Ink to remove the color from the Rinea foil paper in the background there. And I just did some stamping and fussy cutting to get these beautiful flowers. For this example, which I'm going to show you both of these techniques, I used a paintbrush as well as StazOn ink and to do the background there. And for this one, we just did some straight stamping with the Ghost Ink, and you can see how it left a beautiful stamped image. And we are going to go through all of those techniques here today. I'm going to show you exactly what you need. I'm going to be using our Misfits paper pack for this. The reason I love the Misfits paper pack is because they are perfect for trying new techniques without wrecking your good papers. Now, I can't even tell half the time the difference between the Misfits and our regular paper. So don't even think that these are not good papers, because I use them all the time, and you get double the amount of sheets. So that's what I love. They're always going to be an assorted pack. You're going to get tons and tons of options to play with. We are going to be using both the Starstruck, which is this beautiful starry version here, and that's on both sides, the Starstruck, and as well as the glossy side. So I've got some gold glossy here. I've got some red and orange. I'm going to show you a little Halloween example. So there we go. So let's get going. These are a brand new set. I'm going to set those aside and use one that I've already opened and save those for another day. You are also going to need, in addition to your Misfits and your Ghost Ink stamp pad, you're going to need a couple embossing folders. Today we are going to be using, I have this beautiful brick one as well as a honeycomb one. Obviously, to do our B card, we need the honeycomb. I also pulled a zebra stripe too, just in case I want to play with that. You're also going to need some rubber stamps or clear stamps, whatever you choose. I've just got a couple of different options here. We're going to do the honeybee. I also have a Halloween cat. You're going to need some paper towel, or I use scraps of flannel cloth because I'm a sewer as well, so I always have those scraps. You're going to need that, and you're going to need some StazOn ink or some permanent ink to stamp with. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to do our first technique, which is basic stamping onto the foiled paper. So we are going to I'm going to show you how I did this little image here. So this is just stamped onto our Rinea foiled paper. Okay, so you're going to need your paper here. You're going to need your Ghost Ink, and I'm going to get a sentiment
as well, so you can see how that works. Alrighty. Pardon me. Okay, so here's our ghost ink. This one, like I said, it's a well-used pad. It's not going to look like that when you get yours. So you're just going to stamp like a good old-fashioned stamp. We're going to take it and we're going to ink it up. And then we're going to stamp. So it's kind of, because it's a slick surface, you're going to want to stamp and pull it straight up off of your paper, your foil paper here. Let's also do this kitty cat. I'm going to ink her up all nice using that Ghost Ink 2.0. And we're going to just stamp that over here. And you're going to want to try not to squish it around because it'll smear your image. Just do your best. That's why I like using the Misfits, because sometimes you need a few practice tries before you can nail it. And you can already see on the stamp how that color is coming off of your foil paper already on the stamp. So I'm just going to wipe that off really quick. This is why you're going to need paper towel. Now, this only needs a couple of minutes to dry, not even a couple of seconds. And you can start to see a little bit of the lifting. It's hard with the lighting sometimes, but let's try and wipe off this first one that we did. I did it upside down. Voila, there's the magic. Look how clean and clear that is. Keep calm and cackle on. Perfect for Halloween. So our cat should almost be dry. Well, not dry. It should be evaporated enough. So we're just gonna, oh, you can already see it. There we go. And then you just wipe it off. Magic, right? Magic. That's why it's called Ghost Ink, right? Look at that beautiful image and the sentiment. Sorry, I stamped it upside down. So you can use any stamps with this. Easy peasy technique. It's great to just switch it up. Like I said, on this first card, I use the flowers. When you're using a solid image stamp, sometimes it doesn't get all the way, or sometimes it'll smear a little bit, but that just adds to the beautiful backgrounds that you're doing, right? Okay, on to our next technique. So we are going to put that one aside, and I'm going to use this, let's see, we're going to use the honeybees again. So we're going to take this, and this time we are going to use our Stays On ink. And then I'm going to set it aside for a few minutes to dry while we go on to a different technique. So I'm just going to take my Stays On. I'm going to ink up my beehive here. I'm going to show you, remember, just so you remember the card. This little guy. Perfect. And we're just going to stamp that down. There we go. So we're going to set that aside. I know Stays On dries very quickly, but we're going to set that aside just to make sure it's nice and dry. And we'll go on to the background portion of this. So I'll let that dry. And I'm going to grab my Big Shot over here. And we're going to grab a piece of the Starstruck paper. I'll stick it inside of this embossing folder here. And then we're just going to run it through the Big Shot. So just bear with me for one moment while I move this stuff around. Grab my Big Shot. There we go. You know, it's real fancy technique here. Roll that through. Awesome. We'll put that aside. We'll need that for one more technique here. So we've got our beautiful honeycombs here. Now you're going to take that stamp pad once again, and we're going to take this, and to do the background, I'm just going to dab it on. Now the heavier you ink it, the more of the color you will remove. So if you just want a light smearing, just go light, and you can see again, the color is already removing. We're going to put that aside. I'm going to give it a couple seconds here. Grab a fresh piece of paper towel or scrap. And you can start to see how it's starting to lift that color off. And then we're just going to rub it gently. And look at that. You get beautiful two-toned backgrounds. And again, you can go as heavy. I went really heavy on the background of this one. Beautiful. So this is the paper before, and that's with the color removed. And you can see, try to catch the light there. So that's how you do the background, and that's what I did here. And then I just took StazOn and I stamped the little bees on there. So now that we did the background, I think our StazOn should be dry. Now this is a fun part. We're gonna take this little re-inker and we're gonna make a little puddle here. And then you're gonna need a water brush. We're just gonna grab a little puddle of ink there. Ghost ink, that is. And then I just have a water brush. I'm not worried about the water in there. And you're just gonna pick up the ink and we're gonna paint it on. Make sure I'm under the camera here. And we're just gonna paint that on wherever we want the color to be removed. So kind of thinking of the opposite effect, right? So we're not adding color, we're removing the color. There we go. And then you're going to want, again, let it dry for a few seconds. About 30 or 40 seconds is usually good enough. When you're doing a little bit of this painting, sometimes I leave it a little bit longer just to make sure it has lots of time to set and remove. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes, or not even a few minutes. This was a Halloween one I did, and it kind of looks like a moon in the background. I just painted that on and it removed the ghost ink, or removed the color. So we're going to take a little bit more. Just going to grab this, and you can see there how it takes out the color. Now, while we're waiting for that one, I want to show you another really cool thing you can do using that little pool of ink and your water brush. Now, I know some of you are hand letterers out there, and don't judge my writing, please, but I'm not a fancy hand letterer. But I'm going to show you. You can take a water brush, and if you've got that lovely, beautiful handwriting, we are just going to, and I make sure I really get a lot of ink onto that brush every single time. Alrighty. And again, we're going to watch that magic happen right away here. So we did our lettering. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Now I love this technique if you've got some beautiful handwriting or just want to add a really personal touch to whatever project you're doing. Just going to reverse this, and so we're going to start wiping that off. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Perfect. So if you see now, oh, it didn't take off everything, I need to go a little heavier, you can go back in and follow your writing and just touch it up a bit. You can add some splatters if you want. This would be really cool to do on the black to make like a starry night background. We can try that too. We're gonna let that dry there. Let's see if I can grab a piece of black here. We'll do a starry night background. So we've done the splattering here. It's nice and dry. And remove that. And it gives that really cool splattered background. And again, these are techniques you need very minimal supplies to do. So again, I have this ebony glossy foil paper and it's two-toned. So let's just add some splotches and then we'll get back to our bee background. I'm gonna set this one aside to dry. I think this is perfect for like these Halloween. We'll turn these into comets. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside. I'm just gonna wipe up this little pile here before we go on. And let's go back to our bee. So remember we painted it on there. And we're going to just very carefully dab it off. Because it will remove the stays on ink too. So we want to just, there you go. So you can do that where you want your bee. So that's another cool technique. So last but not least, we are going to do our embossing folder technique. So again, we're going to grab a piece of so grab your embossing folder and your ink pad. And now this is where you can decide if you want to ink up the main side or just the outline side. So for this example here, I just did the outline. So let's try this and we'll ink up this other side to see the other effect that we can get. So we're just going to add the ink to the embossing folder. There we go. We are going to take our paper, and because I'm using the Starstruck, it doesn't matter if they're both colored, and we're going to run that through our Big Shot. Once again, we'll bring that over. Set that aside. We're going to open that up, and you can already see it started to take the color off. So I like to quickly wipe down my embossing folder first, just to get that ink transfer off. There we go. And you can already see the cool texture we're getting on this little piece here. And then you're just going to take your towel again, and we're going to wipe and wipe. I really like this technique on bricked backgrounds. I think because it kind of vintages it up and ages it, but that's pretty cool. So there's the two different options. There is just where we did the left side of the embossing folder. This is where we did the other side. So there are two and this was Starstruck too. So there's two very different ways to do that. Now back to that splotch we did here. It's nice and dry. So we're gonna just look at that cool background we're getting. Before you start rubbing a whole pile, I like to just dab it to kind of get all the excess ink off. And then I'll do the swipe. That way I find I get a nice clear removal. Look at how cool that is. Ooh. Isn't that perfect for those grungy mixed media type projects? So cool. Totally perfect for a starry background. So there you have it. There is a few techniques using your ghost ink and your Rinea foiled paper misfits, and a few ideas on how to use it to create beautiful, beautiful backgrounds and cards and different things to give to your friends and family. So thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Jess from Fresh by Jess, and I'm so happy to be asked to do this today. Be sure to subscribe to the Rinea YouTube channel as well as our blog for more inspiration on how to use our amazing products, including the ghost ink, the misfits, and all the rest of our beautiful, beautiful foil papers. I know you'll love it like we do. And I hope you tune in and that you learned something today. Thanks again, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was amazing, Diane. What a product that is.
Yeah, it was something that we just stumbled across, that one of my designers stumbled across, and it was unbelievable. It was a game changer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, we had a couple questions. I know you were answering a few, but we might as well just, someone asked if paper can adhere to wood.
Yeah. It can adhere to wood. It can adhere to glass. I have a sample right here where one of my other designers took a bottle, painted it, and then she die cut these pieces out and adhered them and then put little gems in the middle. But
Oh, beautiful.
yes. So it can adhere to everything. I mean, I treat it like I would paper. I use any type of glue. It just depends on the project I'm making. I use any kind of tape. This is on burlap. This one, they were glued on. The leaves were glued onto the burlap. So.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, you can use it on anything. Mm-hmm.
Somebody else asked, will it dry faster if you use an embossing gun or a blow dryer to speed up the drying process?
Okay. Because of I'm glad you brought this up. I saw that and I was going to talk about it. So you have 3 layers. You have the 2 foils and the paper. And all of this is laminated with heat. So when you start applying heat to it, it will, as it gets really hot, it will pucker, the foil will, and it'll pull away from the paper. I have an example, one of the cards that Jessica made. Let's see here, it was the red. She used embossing powder and a heat gun. But what she did, it's on these little guys right here. Let me turn it so you can see them. The bees and the honeycomb. What she did is she used she did like you normally do. You know, you put the powder on, you take the excess off, and then you start with the heat gun. And she put the heat gun on it and then took it off real quick, and then again and off and on. So that way she wasn't heating up the paper, but she was focusing on the powder.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
you can use a heat gun, and it creates, when it puckers like that, that's again a whole nother technique, and that would be a really cool background. But it does pull away, so you have to be careful with the heat on it.
Perfect.
But you can use any kind of cutting machine, electronic, any kind of die cuts, scissors. You can tear it to get. We had one designer take this and make waves because of the white and the blue, and she used that on a card. So,
wow.
I mean, and if you use an electronic cutting machine, please use an old mat or a very low tack mat. You have 3 layers, and when you take it off, you don't want to leave anything behind on one of those really, really tacky mats. So we've learned that through the process, but it works. Everybody uses cutting machines, and it's just wonderful. Even your old punches. I have a punch here. Let me, and then I'll switch over to our project, but this is a butterfly that I cut out, and it just pops right out. They're really, I mean,
just cuts like paper.
Just like paper. Just like paper. So let me go ahead and switch over. And
I had one more question for you. Ruth was asking, can you put the ghost ink in a watercolor pen? So I'm thinking if they're putting it like in a pen and then...
You can. You can. You
Okay.
can put it in a pen. You have to be careful. You want to make sure that the alcohol or that it doesn't evaporate. And that's why I like to keep it in the bottle, but or like Jessica did, she put a little bit on her surface and used that to color with it, you know, in
Perfect,
essence. But
perfect.
you
Patty's
can.
asking, do you have to spray varnish that when it is on glass or wood?
No, no.
No. Okay.
You can use a wet glue. You can put it on adhesive and cut it that way if you want, you
Yeah.
know, on those adhesive sheets. You can use it in a sticker machine, you know, where it creates where you run it through and then it becomes like a sticker when you take that off. You can do all sorts of things with it.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
All right,
hmm
let's get to your demo. What are you going to show us?
I am going to show you what makes this paper extra special, that it holds its shape. And you don't need to spray it with water in order to do that. So what we created, it was our first die, and we have 2 dies on the market now, but we create dies to go with the paper that really brings out the 3-dimensionality of the project. And on the back of these packages, it gives all the directions on how to curl, which I will show you how I glue it, and a little recipe because well, you can make it in any way that you would like. In terms of how many of each one, people always ask me, how many circles do you have here? I have 5 on each side. And this is what it looks like before they are glued together. Let me move over. And then I have these 2 right here. And there's 5 layers here. And then later I will glue these together to create a full star. But I wanted to show you that all I did was run these through a die cutting machine. It cuts the circles perfectly. And I have laid out here your 5 on each side. And now I'm going to start by curling because that is really the thing that everybody's curious about. I take my circle, I lay my pencil on it, and you can see I am already pushing on it and creating an indentation on it. I'm going to pinch really tight and I'm going to start to curl so that the paper goes around the pencil. I'm curling, curling, pinching and rolling, and it will stay just like that. And so I will keep doing that until I have them all done. Now, this will make what I have laid out, this full red one that I have right here. However, if you wanted to make with just this one color, if you wanted to make a 2-toned colored star, you would take your layer, and this time I am going to lay the pencil on the red side and I'm going to curl. And now I have the gold on the outside like I do on this. So you could, these are not loose. Here's just an idea of what you could do like this. And let me finish this one up so that way I can play with the red one. Does anybody have any questions about the rolling? Because I also have videos that show different ways of holding your pencil in case this doesn't work for you.
Yeah, we don't have any questions so far. I was actually just going to remind people to make sure that they comment and ask questions
Right.
because we do have a couple of door prizes. And what's the door prize?
I have 2 $50 gift certificates, and it goes towards any of our products. This is the other way some people like to curl. They like to start at the top. I like to start from the side here. And those products are paper. And let me show you here. Our paper comes in these packages right here. We have 6x12s and we have 4x6s. We have variety packs and we have individual, but everything is 12 sheets. So for just as a quick example on this metallic pack, oh, I didn't even mention this. We have 2 textures. We have each color in 2 textures. So the Starstruck has the same color on both sides, and it has those wonderful little stars on it. And then we have the glossy, which is what I'm using here. All of our glossies have gold on the back. And here are just a sampling of our 19 different colors and our ton of variety packs. So you have to go check it out on the website to see what colors you want to play with. Because when I said 12 sheets, on an individual pack, you'll get 12 of one color. But on a variety pack, you'll get 2 Starstruck, 2 glossy, times 3 colors. So it's a lot of fun to play with. And like Jessica said, the Misfits, it's double. It's 24 sheets, but you don't know what you're going to get in it. I try to put at least 12 colors in every one of those packs. And you get Starstruck and glossy with that.
Perfect. Now, Patty's asking, is there a kit for the ornament there that you're making?
The kit, no, there's not a kit, because basically all you need from me is you need the die and you need the paper. And if you have a cutting machine, we have SVG files on the website. So then you don't even need this. All you need is the paper. And you cut your circles, you glue it together. Like I said, you know, any kind of glue. I like a wet glue, because when I put this down, I like to be able to move it around. So I will move this around just to make sure I get it in exactly the right place. So I will use that. So you have scissors at home, a sharp pencil, glue. I mean, there's nothing else you need. And then I was going to show you how I attach, which is why I don't have a kit, because most of these things you already have at home. I will take a needle and thread, and I will take this star here, and I poke it right into one of these parts right here, one of these little guys, and pull it through. Now, if you're doing this with kids, I would suggest you can take yarn, you can take thread, but you take your 2 ends of your thread and you lay it in the center, and you put your dab of glue there, and then you can put your other half, and then that will hang as well. And then you don't need the needle part of it. This is just the old-fashioned way. This is the way my mom learned from the nuns, and so I still do it that way, that I poke a hole in there and feed it right through. And I look at the colors. It's just fun. It's so much fun that I wasn't going to show this, but see this? I sit in front of my TV at night, and all I do is I take my cut circles and I curl just like somebody would do knitting. These are my cut circles. And then I just curl them and throw them into that other bucket. And then the next day I lay all those out and I go, okay, what kind of star do I want to make today? The other product I have, in case you don't have a cutting machine or even a manual cutting machine, and I also suggest this for kids. This is actually how we got started, because these are templates. They're plastic. You can lay this on the paper and you can then trace it. with a pencil and trace your lines and then cut it out. And kids who do this, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. They don't have to make every part of this perfect, you know. If when they cut it out, if lines, you know, if they go around it and it's not perfect, don't worry about it, because once you what's going on here? Once you curl this, just because this is perfect here, once you curl this, you don't see that. So this is the greatest project to do with kids. They can even lay it down on the table and bring the paper to the pencil. I have old stars that are for my kids that don't look perfect, that don't have that sharp tip, that have holes in there. I mean, I love them. I hang them up every year. So this is a lot of fun. This can be done anytime, any place. You can take it with you on vacation and work on it with your kids, grandkids. And you see, I mean, just like any other paper, I'm just cutting it, and I'm not even being perfect with this one because I'm doing it in such a hurry here, you know. So I used to spend hours taking a cup and tracing it, and then cutting out circles, and then folding them, and then cutting lines. And now with the template, with the die cut, you can eliminate that whole step. I mean, it goes so much quicker. On the templates, I wanted to show you that because someone might ask, there are 6 templates in here. And in here, the first 3 are the exact same size as the dies. See? Exactly. And that's what I use mainly to make my stars. I use 1, 2, and 3. That's what I use on this. Now, if you want to make bigger ones, I threw these in because it was a better deal to give you all, to be able to give you the 3 larger sizes. But soon I'll be coming out with actual metal dies that will give you the 3 large ones as well. But it's the same thing. You can take your paper, you trace it, and with a pencil, because I'm unrolling one, see how forgiving the paper is. I can open it over and over if I don't like the way it looks. I can curl them too. And this one has all 6 sizes. I made them all real quick last night just to show you. Or you could just take one of these and put a little tea light in it, right in the middle. I mean, you can use these for anything. You can use a half as a bow on a gift. So let me go ahead and go back to a couple more of these just to show you again that all I'm doing is I'm laying it down on the paper and I'm twisting and pinching at the same time. If you don't pinch hard enough, what happens is, like your tires, they spin, right? So you want to pinch so that that really gets underneath the pencil and really grabs and goes really quick, see? And I've made these, I don't know if I showed you. Here is a rainbow one. And this one, I got started when I saw the grandchild do some painting yesterday on your show, on Pin It. She loves pink, so I started working on a pink one. You can make them in any color, any, oh, here are my thick and thin ones. My mom loves these. There's 2 layers here. I have a red and a white that I glued together, a number 3 and a number 1. And then on the back side, I did the same thing, a 3 and a 1. And that's what I did when I was showing you this one for New Year's. And these don't just have to be decorations, and they don't just have to come out at one time of the year, because the picture that we posted with this jar, this is a home decor piece for me. I just have this sitting out, you know. It's so cool because everywhere I go I see matte white and gold. And so before I came up, white is one of our new colors, and before I came up with the white, I took a piece of my gold and I took it outside and I spray painted it, and then I cut the circles out to make the stars. And so this is one of my all-time favorite home decor pieces. It's just a jar sitting on my counter. So, let me go back to finishing this up. And what else did I want to tell you about? You could use.
There's
Go
a
ahead.
few questions there for you, or actually one question. Just kind of going back to the ghost ink,
Yes.
Ruth was wondering, can you work on, is it only for the foil paper, or you can use it on other things as well?
I haven't found it to work on other things because the foil has this paint on there that comes off. And that's why it works so well with ours. It won't work on a typical cardstock. I don't know what's involved when they made the cardstock that has a metallic sheen to it. I don't know if that's just cellophane on there, but because this is real foil with paint on it to create all these different colors, the color lifts off of ours. And so, like I said, a couple years ago, we were at a show, and a designer of ours, Beth, she just was playing with it, and oh my gosh, it came off, and we were like, oh my gosh, it came off. And then we went, oh my gosh, that's exciting, it came off. So we were so happy with that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and a lot of them are saying it's a great family craft, great craft to do with the kids. Anne Benny is asking, before creating this wonderful paper, what did you and your mom use to make these stars?
We didn't. My mom learned how to make these stars in school from the nuns in Bavaria when she was like 5, 6 years old. When she went to school, and they only had, and she's going to kill me if I get this wrong, I believe they only had red and silver, gold, and green. I think those were the only colors. And then over the years, more colors came out. And they only started with the glossies. And so all of her old stars are only glossy. But this paper, you can buy it in Germany. It comes in rolls, nice long rolls, but they get smushed, which is why I heard from a lot of people, well, if you're going to bring the paper over here, then you should at least have it flat so everybody it can ship, it can stay nice, you know. But you can take, let me do it on this one right here.
And Karen was wondering too, how do you store them? Like after, oh, I see, yes, squished.
I smushed it, right? No worries, because it is shapeable. It just pops right back up again.
I think that's maybe why Karen was asking how you store them.
These? I store these in boxes. That's all in a shoebox. So this is, you know, easy peasy. This will just go in a shoebox. This is a little bit sturdier because now you have all these layers. They look fragile. If you have it by itself like this, yes, it will easily smush. But once it's like this, it stays. And I used to make these and ship them to friends, and I found some clear boxes that work great and they look pretty. But my own personal stars are in a shoebox. That's all it is. And then I take them out every year and I hang them. And so we've always used this paper for the stars and always will. Yeah. And now I'm coming out with more colors and hopefully next year more textures. So actually our newest product is a variety pack that has all glossy, which makes my mom very happy. I have 4 different blues in here. And again, it's 12 sheets. And it's so much fun with having just the different shades of blue. And I'd like to have shades of green and, you know, different packages. But for now, all of our variety packs, except for this one, have the mixture of the textures, because it's great. You know, the stars give it almost a frosted look. Here is, and forgive me for coloring outside the lines, but these, I embossed 2 pieces of just plain old silver, like this, just look plain, and so did the Starstruck. And I embossed it with a folder, and then I took, and you can take any of your alcohol markers, and let's see, I think you can see this, yes. You can start coloring as if this is a coloring book. So that's also fun for the kids, you know. And different companies will work. I'll pull out another one here, and I'll show you over here. So we're getting into all sorts of techniques today. And it's just, and check this out. I mean, it's dry. It doesn't smear, nothing. But see how frosted this looks? And this one started like this. It just gives it a whole, you can barely see the stars on this. And then here is the glossy that has, all the glossies have gold on the back. So you could color the other side too. And you can use alcohol in the bottles, the colored alcohol, you know, and splatter that on and mix it with different colors. I mean, here is a sample with alcohol that was put on from those little bottles. And here is, you can see the stars. So she used the Starstruck paper on this card. So, and here's a card that was colored in completely, same embossing folder, but with a hello on it. So if I'm getting off track and somebody wants me to get back on track, please tell me, because I can sit and make stars all day. But I also wanted to show you that this was embossed here, and then it was wiped off, right, with the ghost ink. But on this side, she used other inks. You can use gesso, you can use, I mean, the list goes on. It's just like paper. So
Perfect. Yeah, we do have a question. Patty was asking, to make the stars, do you need the 6x12 paper, or will the 4x6 pieces work?
the 4x6s will work. The largest number 3 you can definitely cut out of a 4x6, no problem. Where's my silver? Here we go. See? But you can only get one of these out of here. Let me see. But you get 2 sheets, so you'll have enough to make the back, the number 3 that I use on, which is the largest. Let me see. Here is the small pieces. And I can get a 1 and a 2 out of one sheet. And I can get one number 3 out of a sheet. So you can definitely use the 4x6s. I do not have the 4x6 in an individual color. I only have the 6x12s in individual colors. You get 12 sheets of any of our colors in you can get the 6x12s in individuals, but in here, but I would want a variety anyway, like for this one, you know, you can use the red, the gold, red, silver, and green to make this out of this. So that would definitely work.
And how many pieces are part of that star? Like how many pieces,
well,
how many layers?
In here you have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and you have 5 here, and then you glue these together back to back, and that would make it a 10-layer star.
Wow.
However, you can do just 2 or just 3. Both of these have 2 layers on each side. I'm going to flip, and then you can see that there's 2 layers on this side.
Yeah.
See?
Very
Here I
nice.
did opposite colors. I did tiny black, large silver, and then I did tiny silver, large black.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sorry.
Beautiful.
But that, yeah, you can do that you can make these in any sizes. And like I said, we have probably 5 or 6 different videos that will show you the layering. And let me find the die pack again, because on the back, it gives you the basic recipe that I usually use, which is 1 3, 2 2s, and 2 1s, how to curl it, how to stack them and put the glue in between each layer, and then how to glue the 2 layers together.
Perfect.
So you have it here, you have it on website, you have it on YouTube, and you just need paper, pencil, and glue. That's it.
So would you get 1 star out of a 4x6 pack, basically?
Oh yeah, you could easily, yeah. And you could get several out of the 6x12.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes. So how are we on time? Because
I
we started
think
a
we
little
have
early.
just a couple minutes left. So if you have,
Okay.
maybe we can go over the website and how they can order and that sort of thing for the people as well.
Sure. On the website, there are 3 big buttons on the homepage. It talks about shopping. It talks about the blog. And what's the other one? Techniques, I think. Yes. And so there are 3 buttons, and shopping will take you to all the colors. It will take you to all the tools. I have a couple of stamps, which are right here. But basically, we are mainly a paper company. These things were to help people get involved, because you go to the website and you see something shiny. That's great, but you don't know what it is or how to use it. And so that's why we developed some of the other tools. Yeah, you just go in there and you shop. And when you check out, don't keep the code away. It's in subscriber email. It's in the subscriber email. If you go and subscribe to our newsletter, you will be able to get an email with the coupon, and then you can shop. And it's just so much fun. So much fun. We have a discount for international shipping. And actually, we're running that through tomorrow night, not just today. So we're going to extend that and run that through tomorrow night. So now shipping is free in the U.S. So
perfect. Now you said you had some how-to videos or that sort of thing. Is that on the website too, or where would they find that?
On the blog, you can scroll through every different project. It's just one long chain, and you can keep going and going and going, and you can learn about how the bottle was made. You can learn how this would, and some of them are write-ups that give you the instructions, and others will be videos that you click on, and it'll take you right to the video and show you everything you need for that project. But yeah, it's very simple to go by. Everything on the blog is very easy to follow. This is some direct stamping that I'm showing you. So you can stamp on it. You can use alcohol inks, embossing. It's just fun. I go into a million different directions when I do this. So let me go back here in case there are any other questions.
Well, I think there's just a lot of amazing comments. Everybody is just loving it, and they love the copper, they love the shininess, they love the color, and just, that they are such a unique ornament, and that it's something that they can do with the family, which I think is perfect.
Yes, I've told people, over the Christmas holiday, before COVID, you know, if you're going skiing or you're going somewhere else and you're stuck inside, just the templates and some paper and glue and scissors. I mean,
Yeah.
it really doesn't get easier. And see, this is what I meant. It's pretty sturdy. So
Yeah.
just a shoebox and you're all set to go.
Perfect. Perfect. And I love those sunflowers behind you too. That's a
And for your next guest, he will be happy to tell you that he made those. And let's also bring this down to show you. This was a clock he made.
yeah. And that's yes, that's Joe Rotella. He'll be with us at near the end of the show. I believe around 3:30 he'll be on. Yes.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll just remind everybody to sign up for the newsletter to get the 30% off their order. Yes. And they'll receive an email with their certificate. So then they can use that towards their order.
Absolutely. Correct? And for this hour, like we said, we were also giving away 2 gift certificates. So they'll be getting, the winners will be getting those in their email. So
perfect. Perfect. Yes, we will notify those winners and let you know who they are after the show.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diane.
Have fun.
And thank you to Jessica. Thank you to Jessica as well. That was amazing. So look. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Those are really neat. I think I definitely have to order some of those ornaments to do with my grandkids, but also maybe with the BBGs, with my painting girls. I think we need to make some of those ornaments. So next up is Anna Marie Oak. She is from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. She has been painting and teaching and designing for 30 years throughout Canada and the United States. She is a Dynasty brand specialist, a DecoArt helping artist, a Pebeo product specialist, and she's been published in Painting World magazine and just became an ambassador for products and stencils for Viking and Painting World. She is passionate about teaching and designing and teaching abroad and in her own home studio. She has a new YouTube channel, and you can also find her on her website, AnnaMarieOakDesign.com. Welcome, Anna Marie.
Hi, how are you, Audrey? Busy lady.
How are you?
Good.
I love your earrings.
Oh, they're the fish ones. I changed my earrings 3 times. You've had a busy day.
It matches your Screech guy beside you there, your Screech gnome.
Oh, yes, my Newfie gnome. Yeah.
Yes, Newfie gnome.
Staying at home with my Newfie gnome. Okay.
So you are going to show us today how to blend pumpkins and how to stencil.
I am. I've been doing a lot of really cool things with I don't know if you can see that, but
that's beautiful
and stuff. And it's just a little pumpkin piece that I'm going to show you how to blend with the Dynasty brushes.
All right.
So, yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Am I ready? You are
ready. Go for it.
I'm ready to go.
Well,
okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to put you guys down on where you can see.
And I'm here, and if any questions come up, I'll ask you, okay?
Perfect. Thank you, Audrey. Okay, here I am. So you just saw the pumpkin that I'm doing. It's a wreath with gather on it. I don't know if you can see. It's quite large. I've been doing them a lot for this fall with the pumpkins. But what I wanted to show you, this was a new pattern I had. If the shoe fits, it's really cool with the shoe and the pumpkin. So I'm going to be demoing, first of all, how to get the stroke on the pumpkin. Really nice, cool strokes, using my number 24 round by Dynasty. These are on my website, AnnaMarieOakDesigns.com, and they are awesome. Awesome. So I'm just going to load up my palette here. First of all, I'm going to do the white color, okay? And I did that with espresso. Here we go. Make sure I'm right in the center. Espresso by DecoArt, and burlap, which I love those 2 colors. Burlap by DecoArt and white, okay? So I had just a pumpkin piece. You can use them from your stash. Everybody got lots of stash, lots of stuff. And you just take your round and wet your brush first. Okay, you wet your brush in your water first. I then go into my darkest color first. Just swipe into it, pushing it down. I don't know if you can see me doing this. I will lift it up for you. Then I'm going to go into my burlap, touch into my white, and I'm going to go to my pumpkin. I'm going to go on the left-hand side first, and I'm pushing down those bristles. Can you see how nice and blended the strokes are? It's just amazing. So you continue again with a little bit of brown espresso into the burlap, strike into the white, and push down. And those colors work so well together. The brush itself, you don't need to do a lot of touch-ups with it. It just gives you those nice strokes. I kind of curve it on the left-hand side. Then when I go on the right-hand side, I curve this way. And the center, then I just kind of come into the front. I will show you what it looks like with the orange. I love the orange for this time of year, of course. I hope everybody is having a good fall. Here in Newfoundland, we usually have snow by now, and it's very nice. I'm still in flip-flops, so that's pretty cool. For the orange, I'm going to use my Cad Red Hue, which is a premium by DecoArt, of course. Beautiful, rich colors. I'm using the Cad Orange Hue, which I love, the two oranges. And I love the yellow. Yellows are my favorite too for fall. The saffron yellow I like to use, or Indian yellow in the traditions if you want to. I'll just pour a little bit of that there also. Here we go. And we do the same thing with this brush. This brush is a wonderful, wonderful brush for doing all kinds of stroke work. I'm going to just get another blank pumpkin, and I'm going to load those three colors. I will start with my red first, which is the Cad Red Hue. Load into that orange hue, a little bit of yellow, and I go right to my pumpkin. And I'm blending. See how neat? Wow, those rich, rich colors. I go back and forth. I am moving my bristles. These brushes are made so well, and the bristles are so full that it just takes very little work. It's so nice to be able to work with a company, and they know what you want. So it's pretty cool. See how nice when you add that yellow to that, it just brings it out totally, and the orange. So that's the background. Remember, on the left-hand side, I just brush stroked, very much curved. I then went to the right-hand side, and I fully loaded and curved my pumpkin. Here you go. So also, I'm going to just lay these over here and bring back my pumpkin that's dry. Voila, it's magic. It's all dry. And we're going to be doing the stenciling. I love the Stencil Pro, and a lot of people have called me and said, gosh, you do that technique so well. And I do this a lot of times for people, even over the phone, tell them how exactly to use the Stencil Pro. So it's the 3/4 Dynasty Stencil Pro. These are all on my website, Anna Marie Oak Designs. You can go on there, and don't forget to use the coupon code. Also, Audrey, I'm going to or you're going to pick names for a couple pattern packets. One is It's All About the Candy. And the second one is the Christmas Poinsettia, and it's the bicycle. Jill Fitzhenry, Jelly Bean, and I were going on our first Friday. It's free, November the 6th, and we're going to be doing a demo. And I'll be doing the demo on the texture and how to, the bicycle. She's doing a beautiful Santa hat as well. It's a lot of nice fur. But I'll be drawing 2 names, Audrey, for 2 pattern packets, and I'll just slip them in the mail to you guys.
Perfect. Yeah. So make sure people that you comment
Yeah.
and ask questions. Also, we also do have a few questions. One is, where did you find where did you get the pumpkin piece, the wood piece?
Well, I think these I had in my tickle trunk, and I'm in my studio now as we speak. And, you know, it's very hard to find pieces, but I think I had these from DecoArt Distributing or Viking. It could have been Viking as well. So either or. And yeah, but you know, just pick up pieces, even hard cardboard. Sometimes is really nice to cut out a drawing of a pumpkin and to paint it. Look how cool that looks there, right? That kind of looks shiny to me, but that's a little thing that I was doing with the media, the DecoArt media crackle glaze. And yesterday I just took my round brush and I dipped into crackle glaze and I just kind of add it periodically. I'll then later
Oh,
tonight.
sorry, Anna Marie, just one more question. That brush that you were using with your base coating, what brush is that again?
It's the number 24 black gold. It's on my website. And when you order the brush on my website, you can push the code and you'll also get this pattern free if the shoe fits and also the gather. Okay, so if you order the brush, you get the pattern packet free for this one and free shipping. So pretty
And what's
cool.
the code?
It's on my website. I think it was Zoom 20 or whatever, but just go on the website and you can see the code there.
Okay.
That you can press. Okay. And yeah, so it's a wonderful brush. It's a great brush. I'm going to show you how to stencil. And I had the opportunity this past month to come in contact with a really great stencil company called the Crafters Workshop. They're online. They're craftersworkshop.com. Jamie owns the company and she's awesome to talk to over the phone, or you can go online, and they have amazing stencils. I had this gather one there to put on my pumpkin, and last year I was doing my trucks, and I've had the Merry Christmas for the truck as well. And this one is also at the Crafters Workshop. And it's Julie is the Belzer Designs. It's a heart frame. So I'll be designing a lot of different projects with these. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use that Stencil Pro. So you take your Stencil Pro. I'm using a 3/4 Dynasty Stencil Pro. All right, this one's a brand new one, but I'm going to show you something. This 3/4 I've been using for a year and a half since I first came in contact with the Dynasty Stencil Pro. And my bristles are a little dark, but the top of it is still just as velvety, okay? It works, it keeps working, it's a workhorse. So I'm gonna use this one and show you how well it does work. Okay, so I'm going to use my espresso. I would use black ordinarily, but I see it there, but I can't grab it. Anyway, I'm going to use espresso, and that'll be fun too. So when you load up your stencil brush, it's a dry brush, and you push your bristles, push. You're fully loading that brush, okay? You're really getting the product inside the bristles as well as outside. You then take your brush and a dry paper towel, and I wipe it off, okay? I wipe it off. And right, you still have the paint on the inside of the bristle as well as very little on the outside. But I line my piece up to about there, hold my stencil, and I stencil my, wow. It's going in the cracks that I put on yesterday too with the crackle glaze. Amazing how good this is. And I just go in swirls, pushing down. Never tap, 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 tap your stencil, okay, with the brush, because it'll too much leakage and it won't look the same. And voila, there's our gather. And it dries instantly and is pretty cool. So you can see that there. It's really nice to work with. So that's our pumpkin, and you can do the same thing for the orange one and put them on wreaths. And always then rinse out your brush once you have it using it, but never use a wet brush for stenciling. It'll be too much leakage. So if it's about that, let me know. I'll go over the pumpkin. I've got a couple minutes. Have I, Audrey, or how
Yes,
much?
you do. Yes, you do. Somebody asked that crackle glaze. Does it work like the DecoArt crackle medium, or what's the difference?
Okay, this crackle glaze, it comes in like a clear, not quite clear, actually. It's a little bit cloudy, but that's the look of it. It dries perfectly clear. And when I first had it seemed a little bit thick. So I called Rosemary from DecoArt, and she said, just take about a teaspoon of warm water in it and thin it out, because it's water soluble. So it works so well. And you know how we sometimes use different mediums that really doesn't work? This works amazing. I don't know if you can see it on this one, on the wreath part here, but right here, the crackle.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, right. So what you do, you let that dry overnight. You put your crackle glaze on, you let it dry overnight. Then you use your antiquing cream. And this is a DecoArt Media line. It's the carbon black, or I like to use the raw umber as well. And you just put a little bit, goes a long way on your palette. Take a tissue or you can take a soft brush, a dry brush, and just paint over your whole pumpkin. And it's going to look black, and that's fine. Don't be scared. You haven't ruined it. It's going to totally dry, okay? I then take a paper towel, dampen the paper towel, and wipe off. It wipes away, but it goes into the cracks. So it's quite an amazing product. I'm liking it a lot, and I'll be doing a lot of different things with it.
Oh,
I wanted to talk to you also about another brush that I have that's going to come on stream. I'm the ambassador, or one of the ambassadors, I guess, for Painting World magazine. And are you waving to me, Audrey?
No, go ahead. You're good.
Okay. And I'm doing a blog for December issue of Painting World, and so excited. So I can't tell you what it is, though. It's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be something that I'm going to do in ink with my faux squirrel 1827 liner reservoir. And these brushes are amazing with the India ink. They're amazing. And I'm also going to be using the Mongolian Sable by Dynasty. And those brushes are so, so cool for doing our oils or acrylics or whatever. So stay tuned for that. And the magazine is quite good. It's nice to sit down with a coffee and just, look at your magazine. Okay. If there's any questions?
I like the color of those handles. That green is really different.
Oh, the Mongolian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a green or a gold?
No, it's a gold here, gold. But what I like about the bristles, it's so great to be a Dynasty brand specialist where you can call the company and they're so good at they say, well, what do you want? Veronica says, what are you looking for? Let me know. And, so I tell her what I need. I tell her what I want the brush to do, and bing, bang, bang, they got it. They do it. They say, this one is going to work for you. And the beauty about those hairs, it looks like a mongoose blender that I used to use years and years ago, but that was a real animal fur. So now, or hair. So now they're not, and they make them so like the real thing. And you're able to push down, you're able to swirl and blend. So I'm excited to be having those on my website as well.
Perfect.
So my website
Yolanda is asking, and actually I was wondering too, on the orange pumpkin, what
yeah.
color would you stencil your lettering?
Oh, black.
Black.
Yeah,
Okay.
black. Yeah, even on this one, wait now, if I can reach there, I thought I had black, but I didn't. And it's over there on my thing. You want to wait? Have I got a second just to get the black to show you how nice it
Sure,
looks?
yeah, go ahead.
Good. Only be a minute. Studio is so full of Christmas things.
Now your camera went off a minute, Anna Marie.
Here. Okay, here I am. I've been doing a...
Check your camera. Your camera went off. Now all we're seeing is your name.
Yeah, okay.
Can you flick it back on? Are you there, Anna Marie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No, it didn't. Oh, just hang on a second. Oops. Okay,
As soon as you got up,
move
it
oh, hang on. I'll come back. Here I am. Here I am.
Oh.
No. Oh. Okay, wait.
Well, we get you flipped back on here. Karen Wilson was actually asking if you wanted to do a project with reds, what color would you pull to do your base coating?
With red?
Yeah.
You mean the stencil? If I wanted to stencil red?
No, I think she's meaning like, on the pumpkin, you did the red one and you did the orange one and then you did the white one. What colors would you use if you're going to do something red? What three
Okay,
colors?
I use the cad red, but if you want it to be more red, you would use like a quinacridone and burnt oranges with the red and a little alizarin crimson. That would give you a really nice, yeah.
Okay, hopefully we can get you back here.
I know. The host has asked you to start your video. Okay. Yeah. Here I am.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back to the pumpkin here now for a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got a couple minutes here yet.
Yeah, kick me off when you need to, Audrey. I'm good. I had a fisherman fella come by and he said, I like that Santa Claus on your deck. And I said, yeah, that's a Newfie gnome, Yeah, I want one of those, he said, for my wife. So then he called me lean-to. It's a lean-to, he called it. I said, no, it's a board. It's a, it's a porch board. So he ordered 2 more, wants flowers on them for his 2 sisters for Christmas. It's too funny.
Oh my, you'll be busy, won't you?
Yes, I will. I've been doing viewing by appointments the past couple weeks for people coming in to view everything I have on display, making wreaths and boards and stuff. So I've been quite busy. Okay, so we're going to do the black one to show you how well it does. So I'm pushing down my bristles. There you go. And I'm drying the piece off in a dry paper towel, okay, because if it's wet, it will leak. So I then going to take my gather and I'm just going to put it right over where I positioned that brown gather to. There you go. And I'm going to, you can see I'm swirling. I'm going a little to the right, a little to the left. And I'm just holding my brush straight up. There we go. And the black really looks nice. And there you go. Using the Stencil Pro, it doesn't leak, very little leakage, and it dries almost instantaneously. So yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Very nice with the black. Yes, it just accents it.
It does. I'm just going to come back to my face.
Yeah, I was going to say, just flip yourself around. I had somebody saying that they loved the media crackle and that it just looks awesome. Yeah. Also, maybe you can just check and we can put it on the link afterwards. A few people are saying they are looking for your Halloween boot pattern and your special for the brush, and they can't find it on your website.
Yeah, the Stencil Pro is there, but it's all about the candy. It's just brand new. So they can email me with their address and whatever, and I can send it to them in the mail.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
We'll put
but
that
the Stencil, the Stencil Pro, they are on my website, or if not, they can, if they don't see it, just email me, and I can, and it's free shipping for today too as well. So good chance. Stencil Pros come in a variety of sizes, and I have the 4 sizes there. I love the 3/4, the 1/4, and the 1/2 inch. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much, Anna Marie. It's been our pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Audrey. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Take care. Happy fall, everybody.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's always so colorful to see Anna Marie, between all her pieces behind her that are so colorful and vibrant, and her personality and her accent. She's always a pleasure. Our next guest is Kim Evans and Kaitlyn Grow, and they are from Emerald Creek. Kim loves making products for the crafting industry. Most creations come from her passion. And Emerald Creek is a manufacturer and design company with rubber stamps, embossing powders, and other craft supplies. And this is Kaitlyn. Hi, Kaitlyn. Oh, she's still connecting. Hi, Kaitlyn.
There we go. Hey,
there
Audrey,
you are. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Nice surprise to have you with us today.
I know. It was kind of fun. Kim's busy with Isaac's birthday party, so she asked if I would jump on for her today.
Oh, perfect. Well, maybe you can tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Kaitlyn, and I work with Kim, and I do a lot of the behind the scenes. So Kim, you'll see her a lot, but me, I do a lot of the website stuff, answering emails, troubleshooting. I go to trade shows with Kim, and I also help her design some of the products.
Perfect. And where are you from?
So I live on Vancouver Island in Canada. I live in a small town called Duncan, so about an hour north of Victoria. And so yeah, it's nice and sunny here today. We're just going through what we would consider a cold snap. I think right now it's like 1 degree, which I know doesn't seem that cold, but here it's cold for us in October. So yeah.
Perfect. And what are you going to demo for us today?
So today we're just going to share a couple quick tags. I'll pop them up when I flip the camera over. And it's just featuring some of our stamps and embossing powders.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, let's get to it.
Okay. So these are the 2 tags we're going to make today. And they're just fun, quick and easy tags that you can make for Christmas and add them to gifts or to presents, whatever you want to do. So we'll start with creating this cute little Christmas polka tag. And to start, you'll just need a plain tag. It doesn't matter what kind of tag you use. And we're going to use our Christmas polka stamp, which is a great background stamp, which Kim used yesterday. And I'm just going to apply some Versamark ink to the stamp. Stamp that onto the tag. And then we're going to sprinkle charred gold embossing powder over top of the tag. Tap off the powder and make sure to pop your powder back in your jar before you keep going. And with using a chunky powder, when I emboss it with my heat gun, I'm going to actually heat from underneath. Okay, so now the tag's embossed, and I'm just going to give it a couple seconds to cool down. And in the meantime, I'm just going to grab brown Distress Oxide ink. It doesn't matter what color brown you take. Walnut stain is my favorite, so that's the color I'm going to use. And you'll need a blending tool with foam, and you're just going to blend the ink over the entire surface of the tag. And then once the ink is on,
a couple people were asking Kaitlyn, why do you heat from underneath?
so I heat from underneath because the charred gold powder itself is a very chunky powder. So I find that if I put the heat gun right on the powder to begin with, it blows a lot of it away. Whereas when I heat underneath, it keeps it from blowing, which then I don't have to reapply the stamp and re-emboss certain areas because I know my powder will still be in those areas.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
And then I'm just going to spritz the tag with some water and just take a little paper towel and dab off the excess water. And then to finish this tag, I don't like to have any white edges. So I'll just go back with my black ink and ink the edges. And that just finishes the edges and makes them look pretty. And then from there, what I'll do is, just to finish the tag, I just have a piece of twine and I'm going to put that through the hole at the top of the tag. And there's your first finished tag. Super easy, fast. If you're trying to finish up and add something to your gift on Christmas Eve, it's perfect, quick and easy, and you can just add whatever message you want to the back of the tag. So now the next one we're going to create is our cute little reindeer, so our season's greeting reindeer. And this time, another tag, and we're going to take our snowflake background stamp and apply Versamark ink to that and stamp that on the tag. And then this time I'm going to take my White Wonder Molten Dimensions embossing powder and sprinkle that over the stamped snowflake.
And Sue Potts was wondering, why do you spritz with the water?
So because it's a Distress Oxide ink, with the Distress Oxide, to get it giving that kind of aged look on the tag, if you spritz it with water, you get some really cool water patches. So it just gives it a more kind of distressed old age look to it.
Okay, great.
So now with the snowflakes, I'm going to emboss these, and I am going to heat it from the back again. Okay, and then this time I'm going to take a Distress Oxide ink in the color Candied Apple, so it's a nice red, and blend that over top of the stamped snowflakes. And this really helps to make the white snowflakes pop on the tag. And then I will spritz this tag again with water. And just take a piece of paper towel, dab off the excess water. And then I'm just going to set this tag aside while I work on the rest of the pieces for the tag. So to get my reindeer, this is our little reindeer stamp. It has some really cute little baubles in it. I'm going to apply some Versamark ink to the stamp. Stamp that onto a piece of white cardstock. And sprinkle Copper Scroll Modern Gilding Embossing Powder over top of the stamped deer. And this is a fine embossing powder. So with the fine embossing powder, if you have a really detailed stamp, it picks up all the details on your stamp. So you get a really nice embossed image. So there's our little reindeer. And to color in his little baubles, we just got these fun little zig emboss it markers in. This one has a brush end to it. So what I'm going to do is pick 3 of the bulbs and just color them in with this zig pen. And this time I'm going to take my Spiced Candy Aroma Embossing Powder. And yes, it smells like cinnamon hearts when it's embossed. And it does stay smelling for quite a while. So that one's fun because it gives you some extra, gives you a smell-o-vision option when giving the card. And there's those 3 baubles. And then I'm going to color in the remaining 2. And this time used Peppered Chantilly embossing powder. And then after he's all embossed, I would fussy cut him out. So this is him fussy cut out. So that's your little reindeer done. And then to get the season's greetings, I used our season's greetings sentiment stamp. Apply some Versamark ink to it and stamp onto the same piece of paper that you've stamped the deer and embossed the deer on. And then for the saying, I used the Gothic Black Modern Gilding Powder, which is another fine embossing powder, and just tapped off the excess. Pop that back in the jar. And then emboss with your heat tool. And And once that one has been embossed, you'll also fussy cut it out, which I've already done. So here's the season's greetings and the reindeer. And to finish off the edges of the tag, the reindeer and the sentiment, you'll just take the brown ink you just used for the Christmas polka tag and just ink the edges of the tag. Tag the reindeer.
We have somebody asking, if you were to mail the card, would that aroma powder still smell?
Yes, it will. Kim has had one that she's done, and hers, she said it lasted the smell about 3 months.
Wow.
So a fairly good time.
And also, what heat gun are you using? What do you know what the name of it is?
Yeah, so it's a Wagner heat tool, and we actually sell them on our website.
Oh, perfect.
I've tried quite a few of them, and by far the Wagner is my favorite. One thing though is when you use it, it gets hot and the end isn't protected.
Okay.
So you want to make sure
person asking
that you
about
keep
the
your
heat
hand
gun.
away from it.
Oh, okay. Just be careful.
Just be careful. So I'm going to foam square the little deer on the tag.
Also, do you know what other flavors that you have?
Yeah, so we have vanilla sugar, which smells like vanilla. Black cherry, smells like cherry. It kind of reminds me of sour cherry, the candy sour cherry blasters. And then you'll just adhere the deer to the bottom of the tag. We also have apple martini, which smells like apple. Chocolate dream, it smells like chocolate. We just came out with root beer. We also have raspberry crush, so it smells like raspberry.
Oh.
We have eggnog, holiday truffle, which smells like chocolate, Terry's chocolate orange. Adhere your season's greeting wherever you want around the deer. I'm just trying to remember which other ones we have. And we also have not just food flavored smelling ones, we also have a few flower smelling ones.
Okay. And they can find all that on the website.
They can find that exactly under our aroma embossing powders.
Perfect. And I see Kim also has just posted their special code PINIT1020 for a bonus 10% stacked on store existing sales.
Yeah, so right now we have 25% off the entire store. So you'll get another 10% on top of your 25% off.
That's a great offer. Thank you, Kim and Emerald
Great
Creek.
deal. And then to finish your tag, you're just going to add some twine to the top. And there you go. There are your 2 little Christmas tags.
Perfect. Those are amazing. Love them.
Thanks.
Very quick. Ruth has asked, can the distress inks be wiped back so it isn't so dark?
Meaning if it's on the back, if it's on your background, like if it's in here, you just want to go lighter with your touch. I'm a little heavier when I blend the ink on my tags, but if you just went light with blending on them, you'd get a lighter look. As well, I've also done it where if I've stamped before and embossed after, or I've embossed first and then inked after, and it gets on certain elements of your embossed area, you can actually wipe it off with a baby wipe. So it just kind of depends what look you're going for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Kaitlyn.
Thank you.
Any other, I'm just looking to see, I don't think there's any questions. Just really enjoyed having you with us today. Can you bring back to your face there? Or?
I can. Just give me a second.
Oh, it looks nice and sunny
There we
out
go.
there.
Oh, yeah. Super sunny.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We really enjoyed those tags.
Thanks for having me, Audrey.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was awesome that she could fill in for Kim there, who was having her birthday party for her son. Happy birthday, Kim, and to your son and your family there as well. So our last guest today, like they always say, sometimes you save the best for last, right? That's what Joe would say. Is Joe Rotella. He's from Columbus, Ohio, and is the founder and creative director of Create and Craft. Joe's work has appeared in Scrap and Stamp Arts, Just Steampunk, and Somerset Studio Gallery magazine. He's filmed several television segments, including Crafted at the Spotted Canary and Scrapbook Soup TV. He is a regular participant in Creative Jumpstart and also a regular guest on Make It Artsy, airing nationally on PBS TV and Creative TV. He also teaches workshops and seminars at AFCI Creativation, Artscape, Stampaway, and Gen Con. Welcome, Joe.
Hey, Audrey, how are you? How exciting is this?
Good. So great to have you with us here today.
I'm thrilled. Can you hear and see me okay?
We can hear you and see you just fine. Everything looks awesome.
Wow, yours too. What an amazing event this is. It is so fantastic.
Well, I see that you've been on for a little bit there, so thank you for watching as well. I think everybody's enjoying all the watching all the demos and all the specials and promotions that are happening. It's just a great day to be creating, that's for sure.
I agree. It's just wonderful. And I love seeing all these creative folks. I've seen Lori and Debbie and Kim and just the whole crowd out there. Kaylyn, I just think it's fantastic. Just fantastic.
So what are you going to be doing for us today? You're doing a dice tower. So maybe we'll just show the people this and get started a bit, and then we'll ask some questions as we go along.
I'm ready. Let me flip over to my desktop cam. So let's first talk about what is a dice tower. I mean, if any of you ever play any games, you know, anything with dice, you're working on your table and you're throwing your dice and they can go all over the place. Well, if you're a really cool gamer, you're going to have a dice tower. So a dice tower, my kit has two components. It has the tower part and a tray. So, you know, you could just use the tray and throw your dice in and they're going to stay on your desk. But if you use the tower part, this one's not painted so you can really see, but it's got a baffle that comes in here at an angle. And then it's got another one at another angle and another angle and then one out the bottom. So you just drop your dice in the top and they roll right out the bottom onto your desk. And if you want, of course, you could put the dice tower in your tray and there you go. Everything stays in. It doesn't matter if you're playing Yahtzee or some of the, you know, traditional games, or you're a gamer and you're going to play any of the games that I would see at the gaming events that I teach at. How's that? Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I love it.
So the cool part about this is the kit and then how you decorate it. So the kit, I have to turn around and reach. I've got more stuff behind me than could fit all over on the table. So the kit comes packaged and this is one of the most exciting things I ever bought was a shrink wrap machine. And if I could, everything in our house would be shrink wrapped because it was so much fun. So it makes a great gift because it's really nicely packaged. This is made out of 1/8 of an inch Baltic or Russian birch, which is a really beautiful wood. It's got a beautiful grain to it. And the kit itself for the tower comes with these pieces. And let's see if I can lay them out and fit them here all on camera. Now, Audrey, I can't watch my screen, so you have to tell me in my ear how we're doing.
You are doing just fine. It's right in the middle. You're perfect there, Joe.
Cool. So this is the basics of the tower part. And, you know, as a tip, whenever I'm building anything out of wood, I always do what's called a dry fit first. I always want to make sure the pieces fit together without any adhesive to be sure that I'm getting it right. And so the easiest way to put the dice tower together is to start by putting in the baffles. And if you look, these only fit a certain way, and each piece only fits in its exact spot. You don't have to worry about, you know, this isn't like IKEA where you got instructions and you're like, oh my God, what do I do next? This, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't go there. So it's very lock and key like that. So we're going to put on the baffles first. And then this is going to be the back. And again, it only fits one way. You can't even put it upside down. It won't go. So this is the back, goes just like this. This is the front. Notice the front is a little bit shorter, right? Because the front has to have an opening for the dice to come out. So the front goes on just like this. And then you've got your other side. The top is nice and smooth. The bottom has these same sort of little notches. And again, you can't fit it together the wrong way. So once you think, okay, I've got this right, then you can kind of fold up the sides and it'll almost stay, by itself. You don't really need to put adhesive on the sides at all, because the minute you lock this piece into place on top, nothing's going anywhere. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
And this is the bottom. So when I glue these things, because I have no patience, if you've ever worked with me, you know I have zero patience. I use Rapid Fuse, because Rapid Fuse dries in, oh my God, 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, you will not be able to take this apart. There's no possible way. And the tray is the same deal. Now, the key with a glue like this, another little tip, a little bit goes a very long way. If you put enough that when you go up, it squishes, that's the technical term, when it all like squishes out here, you put too much. And the other thing is here is if you lay it flat like this and you just put a little bead right down that line, when you fold this up, you'll have all the glue in all the right places. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
And there's your tray. So we're not going to put you through the gluing part, but that's what your tray comes out as. Now, the smart person, and I wasn't so smart with this one, paint the inside of the pieces before you even put it together. Because otherwise, it's really hard. It's really hard to get down in there. Trust me, it's really, really hard, Audrey. I have done this a few times. So I would paint the inside first. Now, some people don't, but I'm incredibly fussy. So if you're as fussy as I am, then you got to paint the inside. So
now,
what do you do?
If you wouldn't paint it, would it warp at all or anything? Because I know sometimes they always say you have to seal both sides or paint both sides, or else you might get warping. Would that happen?
I don't think so, because these pieces are so small. It generally takes a larger surface for you to get some warp. Now, once you have this, you can do anything you want with this kit. So I made one here that I put these, I'm going to call them Chinese dragons because I don't know what they are. This is from a belt buckle I found at the thrift store. And I molded it and then casted it in resin because I wanted 4 of them. So there's a little tip, wrong thing, deers, wrong thing. There's a tip. When you see something you love, get yourself some molding material. I love Amazing Products or ETI products. Cast it, mold it, and then cast it, and you can make as many as you want. How's that?
Perfect.
Now, go ahead.
No, they're just asking that Rapid Fuse adhesive. Where can you purchase that?
I get it at the big box hardware stores because this company, DAP, they make like silicone that you'd caulk your gutters with and construction and all kinds of adhesive. But this is the bomb. This is the bomb. Look, it says cures in 30 minutes. When I teach this class, we have it assembled in about 2 to 5 minutes and it's ready to paint. Now, I wouldn't like bang it around, but after 30 minutes, you can't pull this apart. I mean, I'm pulling now, no possible way.
Okay, so and I know it's available. It's available also at Home Depot in Canada. Somebody was asking in the USA, so you're basically your big box stores in USA as well.
Yep, Lowe's. I tend to be Lowe's, Home Depot. You got it.
Perfect.
So let's do some technique. So this was just this plain wooden kit. But I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but to me, this looks like the kind of old lacquerware that I would see when I used to teach in Japan. It's not quite red. It's not black. It's got that beautiful kind of mix on it. I don't know how well that comes out.
It looks like a bit of an antique look to it, for sure.
I love that. So let me show you a trick how that's done. I'm going to take, let's just take a piece of dice tower. This is where plaid chalk paints come into play. And the two that I love are Rich Black and Imperial. These are the two that give you that effect. So all we do, and I should have done one in advance, you'd think from doing all the TV work I'd have this down pat. Should
I
have
know
told me,
somebody
Audrey.
earlier was talking about paint drying, so, but.
So we're not going to watch paint dry, but all you're going to do is put on, and you know, chalk, the reason chalk is so nice is it's very, very, very matte. There's absolutely no shine to it, no glimmer to it or anything. But this is one of my favorite techniques. Now I do it with Imperial because I just love that red lacquered kind of look. But again, you know, you could use any other color you want. The other little trick, I know I'm supposed to be showing you kits and stuff, but I want to show you tricks. This is the brush cleaning little box gizmo from Plaid. And can you see how it's got like a divider line in it?
Yeah.
I like to keep my dark paints brushes on one side and the light on the other, because otherwise you put a black brush in water and you've got a black tint like everywhere.
And they said, is there a link to purchase the kit? They would purchase that on your website?
I'm going to give you a link. It's right across can you see it across the top or not? I don't know if you can see across the top.
Oh, yep, there it is. Createandcraft.com.
So, Create and Craft, Pin It Canada. Let me show you where it is. You go right to our homepage. I've got too many mice and windows going. You go right to our homepage, scroll down a bit, and here's some of our featured products. And right there's the dice tower. And then I'm going to show you these embellishment sets. The cool thing here for today for Pin It Canada, because I love Audrey, is you use the code Pin It Canada, you get 10% off everything on the site.
Ooh.
And our shipping is exactly what the shipping costs. There's no add-ons for shipping. So that was a great question because it got me a little bit of time for this red to dry or this black to dry.
I was thinking
I don't even know my colors. You know, I've always liked you. I've always liked you. So I use a sponge, and the trick here is to just put on some of the red and kind of brush it. And you're going to add as much red as you like to get the desired effect. Some people want more black than they want red. Some people want more of the red. Now, if the black is dry, this is going to give you a lot more red right out of the box. But can you see how we're starting to get that red tint? It's not showing up on camera that well. We'll revisit it again. So I put a ton of red. You know, the same trick. This is one of my favorite tricks. I teach it in a class. Collage this first with glops of thin tissue paper or napkins. Just dab it on there. You're going to use Mod Podge. You're going to get a really lovely texture. Then do this black, then sponge on brown or sepia, and it's going to look like old leather. So if you want something to look like old leather, it's black with brown sponged on top, and you're done. So this is how I made this dice tower. I just used a technique. I put my own embellishment on. Great gift. But if you want, and you're a gamer that you've got some certain passions, check out this one that looks like a castle. So these are our embellishment sets. They come separate. So this is the castle embellishment set. And it's got a lot of little goodies in there. I want to show you what some of those goodies are. It's got these little window frames. It's got pre-printed windows that fit right under the frame. And it comes with a laser cut Mylar reusable stencil that gives you that stone pattern. So you don't even have to come up with your own stone pattern. You've got a stencil that you can use over and over again to do that. And then it's got laser cut wood pieces to give you this crenellated top.
Oh, very neat.
And it comes with a liner for your dice tray in felt. And it comes with little felt feet for the bottom. And because I'm really fussy, so my kits are really, really fussy, see these pieces? They're exactly the size of these stones. So it's got a whole set of these stone pieces that you can use on your finished tower and give it a little bit more 3D, because you know a real stone wall wouldn't be so flat. Does that
Perfect,
make sense?
perfect. Now, Yolanda is asking, I'm not quite sure the question, do the dice from D&D,
Yes, I
Dungeons
know
and
D&D.
Dragons,
I know D&D. Who's asking this question? Who's out there?
Yolanda Kramer.
Yolanda, it does fit the D&D. No problem. No
Oh,
problem.
see,
Now,
had no idea what she was talking about, but I thought I'd ask it anyway.
so Yolanda, I teach at Gen Con. If your guys have heard of Gen Con, it didn't happen this year because we're having a pandemic here in the States. But Gen Con is the largest gaming convention in the world. It happens every summer in Indianapolis. They get about, I think, 70,000 people. There's thousands of gaming events, but for all of us crafty folks out there are about 700 craft events. So I
Wow.
teach things like making dice towers, making Doctor Who lamps. We etch glassware. In fact, if you want to check out this URL, we'll put it in the chat window. It's dropevent.com/GenCon 2020. So I'm going to figure out how to put it in the chat window. I got too many windows going. I don't know where all my windows are. I can't find all my windows. So dropevent.com, GenCon 2020. Here it is. This has pictures that the students have submitted of all of our classes. So there's me teaching. But as an example, we etch glassware. So we made plates that had the Gen Con logo. We made, these are little magic wands. There's people working on wands, people working on plates. There's 1,500 photos on this website. So
Wow.
there's somebody who made an etched glass. There's some more glasses. You'll see the dice towers in here. Here we did a Doctor Who inspired clock. So if you're a Who fan, I have lots of that. We did Weeping Angels. So we did Weeping Angel clocks as well. And that's hot glue in order to make that Weeping Angel look. So let's go back and look at some of the other kinds of styles that we have. So this was the castle. Now, if you've ever seen the show, I'm a steampunk fan. So this is the steampunk dice tower. And that kit comes with 32 laser cut gears in different sizes. You can see some of the different sizes here. And then it comes with, I call them connectors because I don't know what else to call them. But in class, we typically call them light bulbs. See that little light bulb and that little light bulb?
Yes. Yep.
Because that way, when you take your gears, you can put gears down like this, and you put the light bulbs, and it makes the little connector between the gears. How's that?
Oh, yes.
And because
Very
I'm an
neat.
engineer, all the
Yeah.
gears fit together. The tooth is right on all the gears. And I give you a sample layout for each side of the dice tower. So you don't even have to figure out how to fit 32 gears. If you want to do it my way, you can fit all 32. This person, I have to tell you, she didn't do it my way. She even took extra gears and put them down on her tray. She glued it into the tray. But the gears, when you want to make some pretty cool gears, you're going to take some gears and you're going to paint them black. And again, I love this chalk paint from Plaid. But Plaid has a full line called brushed metal. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare. Brushed metal.
Yep.
And the brushed metal, you don't have to put it on black. Of course, you don't have to do anything, right? It's crafting. And sometimes when you don't do it the way you're supposed to do it, you end up with something even better and you invented something new. But these brushed metal paints are fantastic. And I think they look the best when we put it on a little bit of black. So this is brushed metal. This is copper. I'm going to dip it right in there. And let's see look at that. Is that coming out?
Beautiful.
There you go. Now I like it real light because I like the metal to look like it's kind of been through a really bad many years of use. Of course, you can go much heavier. But look at that effect you get. It's not focusing too well. There, we'll see. We'll get it better. I love that. And in fact, we use the brushed metal to give us the gold trim on these window frames. So if you like steampunk, you could use our steampunk kit. And the nice thing about the steampunk kit is, you're getting 32 laser cut gears that all fit together. So you don't really have to use this on the dice tower. You might just want all the gears. And the odds are there's extra in each package because we get tired when we're counting them of putting all the gears in there. So
can you put the bottle of the metallic paint just up so they can see what it looks like, the front? Oh, okay, yeah.
Plaid,
what's it called again?
Plaid Folk Art Brushed Metal.
Ah, awesome.
And it has
That
wonderful,
really
wonderful,
great.
wonderful colors.
And
So
where are
let's see
most of these products? Where can they find them?
Well, Plaid, you can buy Plaid online through their website. You can get it through Amazon. If you're going out to stores, I know it's in the big box stores. It might be at your local craft store. So
Perfect.
Plaid is the folks who make Mod Podge.
Yes. Yep.
So if you know Mod Podge, then you know Plaid. So let's see. We talked about the steampunk kit. We did the castle kit. How about this one? This is called the Celtic Dragon set. And the Celtic Dragon set gives you laser cut chipboard. You get a dragon, which is cut in multiple pieces. Now, the reason I saved it in this chipboard, this is how it comes in the kit, and it's held in place with this blue tape, masking tape. So if I peel that tape off, all his little pieces come out. What's cool, though, is because I'm a craft hoarder. Is anybody else a craft hoarder? Tell me in the chat.
I think there might be a few out there today.
I saved the chipboard because now I have a stencil that I can push paint through to give me the same dragon. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So this set comes with the dragon, and then it comes with 4 big Celtic tribal sort of symbols. So you can put those symbols on the side of your tower. And you can fit the dragon. It's meant to fit on the front, but doesn't have to be. You could put the reason you get 4 symbols is I used to give just 3, and somebody was like, well, I don't want to use my dragon. I need a 4th symbol. So now you get 4 symbols, and you could put the dragon on the front. And that was inspired, this whole set was inspired by this very first box.
Yeah.
So you put that dragon on the front. I love it in red with gold on top of black for my embellishment, and red on top of black for my base.
And that's a perfect craft and gift for Christmas time right now, for sure.
Oh, if you have anybody who plays games, maybe it's a younger person that plays games that someone my age doesn't even know about, or someone like me, we have game at night at our house. One of my favorite games is Kill Dr. Lucky. So if you want a fun game, go look for Kill Dr. Lucky. Now I have to tell you about Kill Dr. Lucky in my minute left.
Kill? I have never heard of that before.
Kill Dr. Lucky. So you know the game of Clue where you're kind of in a giant mansion?
Yes.
And you try to figure out who killed someone. In this case, you're in a giant mansion with Dr. Lucky, but all the guests hate Dr. Lucky. They all want him dead, but they want to be the person to kill him. So if you're in a room, no, it's so fun because if you're in a room alone with Dr. Lucky, you can use one of your kill cards to try to kill him. The reason he's lucky is depending on how you try to kill him, the other players can use their luck cards to save him.
Oh.
So it's cooperative. They all want to save him. They want him dead, but they want to be the one to do it. So it's fun. It's called Kill Dr. Lucky. So I have a couple more kits to show you.
Where did you purchase this game? I've never heard of it before.
We got it at Gen Con, but just go on Amazon and search for Kill Dr. Lucky, or Joe Morgan's helping me, my partner Joe. He might be able to put a link in that in your room for an Amazon. So the last kit, if you're a Whovian, is anybody out there a Whovian? Oh, Linda, a Harry Potter embellishment kit. I tell you what, Linda, message me privately and we will talk about it because I have a lot of ideas for Harry Potter. We just have to be careful about licensing. But if you message me privately, I'm going to help you out. So this is the last kit. This is the Whovian inspired blue police box. Anybody out there a Whovian? Anybody out there know who Doctor Who is? Have you heard of
I
Doctor
do.
Who?
I
Yes,
think
I
there's a
have some
few.
Whovians. So let's go look. I'm going to show you on the website what the Whovian kit does. The Whovian kit looks kind of boring with just that chipboard, but when you're done using the chipboard, you're going to end up with a police box. And it comes with, where's all my pieces? They're all over you should see the mess you made me make, Audrey. So it comes with the sides. Now you can figure out these sides, right? This is a
Yep.
full side's going to go right here. And the color you want to use is plaid. Look, I'm showing you on the wrong camera. Audrey, you're not keeping me. I shouldn't have had anything to drink today. Look, this chipboard goes right here, right? And it
now
fits
I'm just
exactly.
seeing your side here. You got to flip your camera one more time.
I have to flip my camera one more time.
Well, I'm seeing this. There
You're
you
seeing
go.
my nose. Oh, no, you saw my profile. Oh, no. We have to cut this out. Is there a delay? Where's the control room? So this is all the chipboard, right? And the chipboard fits here perfect. The color you want to use, if you're a Whovian, pay attention. This is Folk Art True Blue. True Blue is the exact color of a TARDIS. True Blue is and I have a great friend who works at Plaid. Can you tell Plaid people are Whovians? Look at this. Look at this. So now when I teach the class, everybody says, okay, can I just glue this on and paint the whole thing blue? No. You have to paint this blue first, paint this blue separate, because then you have to put the signage between them. Does that make sense? You got that?
Yes.
And it has all the signs you need for the top. It has a little frame. It even has a trim strip to put down the middle of the door. Because we taught a class once. We made a Whovian-inspired clock, and Peter Davison came to class. If you're a Whovian, you know who Peter Davison is.
Who is Peter Davison?
I think he was 10th Doctor Who. He was the 10th Doctor Who. So what's fun about all these sorts of things is I think it makes your crafting functional, which I really like. I like decorative stuff too, but I love it when something can become something that people are really going to use. So, I mean, look, this is at Gen Con. This is the gaming convention. So she came as a Star Trek cosplay, and then she made a Whovian box for her dice. So I think that's so amazingly cool. If you're looking for other sort of artful kit ideas, the dice tower is really cool for you if you're a gamer, of course. You've got the tower and you can use it as is with the tray or pick up one of the embellishment sets. But look at these art dolls that are underneath it. These are also laser cut. So you get all the components to put one of these together. These are called square heads. There's no one else that I know of on Earth right now that has square heads. And they lock together, and then you just paint them and decorate them and go crazy with how you want to embellish these things. So it's easy. It's all pre-cut. You just glue it and then have at it. Or maybe, depending on how smart you're going to be, you might want to glue it first before you put some of this stuff together. That was the mistake I made.
Those are really unique. I can see some cool classes with those.
Oh, and some of them, I'm a steampunk kind of guy. So look at Go Steampunk Robot, Go Robot. I love him. And then you start putting all the metallics on them. It's totally cool. So you can get ideas like this. Go to our drop event site, and you can see 1,500 pictures of what we did at Gen Con. You can always createandcraft.com. Go to our website. You can go to facebook.com/createandcraft. And on YouTube, I've got a ton of videos, including all my segments from the Make It Artsy TV show. So if you don't catch the show near you, come check it out on my YouTube channel. That's Create, the letter N like Nancy, Craft. So youtube.com, just search for Create and Craft, no spaces.
That's wonderful,
How'd
Joe.
we do?
This has been so informative. It's just been wonderful to have you with us. And I see there were some questions, But I think Joe Morgan took care of some of the questions, so it was wonderful to have him with us as well. Hi, Joe Morgan. So thank
And
you so much.
everybody, you better go like, hearts, clap for Audrey and Pin It Canada. Audrey does phenomenal work, and her team behind the scenes, you can't see them. She's got a crew. Last I heard, she had like 20, 30 people. I mean, Make It Artsy, we only have a crew of 10. She's like 3 times that to pull this off. So she's a rock star.
We
and we
do
all
have
love
a
her.
wonderful crew, and I'm very, very blessed to have Ron Hanson, Judy Hanson, and Corey DeYoung, my daughter, with me here today helping out. And this show would not be what it is without them. So, yeah, we're very
and you guys
fortunate.
have tomato ketchup flavored potato chips, which is like unbelievable. I love them, and we can't get them here. Ketchup flavor. Who thought of this?
Yeah, we have many different flavors.
Well, that I might have to move for Canada for lots of reasons, but that would be one of them right there.
That's another show, right, Joe?
Oh, don't! I'm not allowed to talk about it. I got to be good.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure everybody will be going to createandcraft.com to purchase their kits and
use your Pin It Canada, right? Pin It Canada, 10% off. And tell me about those ideas. It was Linda, I think, Harry Potter, a Harry Potter dice tower. Oh, usually when I get a really good idea for a kit, if I make a sample kit, I send it to the person who gave me the idea to tell me how they think of it. So Linda better be writing me. She better be writing me.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Take care and have a great weekend.
You too. Bye, Audrey.
Bye-bye. Oh, well, we have just had a fabulous day. It's just been a great day of creativity, having fun, lots of laughs, and just great to have Joe there with us to finish off the show today. And I think he's going to be getting a lot of orders for those dice towers, because I know a couple of my kids and grandkids and everybody, I think everybody plays games at some point in time, or if you don't, you should, because gaming is wonderful. It's been an incredible afternoon. I want to thank all our presenters and all our sponsoring companies for being on the show today, from Ecstacy Craft, Stamp Art with Nancy, DecoArt and Tracy Moreau, Deb Antonick and Stampendous, Diane and Jessica from Rinea, Anna Marie Oak and Anna Marie Oak Design, Kim and Kaitlyn from Emerald Creek, and Joe Rotella from Create and Craft. Thank you, everybody, for this amazing afternoon. Thank you for spending the time with us. Again, if you missed a couple of the segments, or if you missed yesterday, they will be on our YouTube channel probably sometime next week. It's Pin It Canada. If you go to YouTube, just put Pin It Canada. And if you subscribe and hit the bell, you will get notified when it does go live on YouTube. And then you can watch the different segments or watch the entire show all over again. Yeah, thank you very much. And don't forget to watch our weekly live show called Audrey Live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And yes, I thanked everybody that helped me here today. But again, thank Ron Hampson, Judy Hampson, and Corey DeYoung for helping out over the last couple months in preparing for this show and today. So take care of yourself. Bye-bye.